Imagine if suddenly you are transported to a world where women are stronger and more direct, while men are submissive and weaker. After arriving there, the goddess who brought you to this world tells you that to go back to Earth, you need to be a masculine man in this feminist world. While all the men are passive, waiting for the girls to make the first move, and the girls are aggressively pursuing men, you have the task of flipping the script and proving that men can also make things happen. Or perhaps you might just accept the sad fate of being tormented by assertive women every day and remain in this world. Even at home, your stepsister tries to get you to do some unholy things. To make things harder for you, you are now extremely attractive, and in this world, girls don't hold back. Your good looks make it even harder to take control of situations. When you go to school, all the girls are trying to hit on you. When you return home, your sister is trying to create content for a paid platform. Even when you go for a walk, thugs are dangerous and willing to steal all your future prospects. You try to get a job only to get hit on by a 2-meter-tall CEO who doesn't hold back. How can you be the one to take the initiative and make girls more submissive to you in such a crazy world? If you fail, you will assimilate into this world, unintentionally becoming more and more feminine. You need to rush to prove you're a Chad. The name of our protagonist is Zhang Hao, and let me tell you a little something about him. He's a straight shooter who goes out with his brothers to drink every day after work and hits on girls without hesitation. But right now, he feels like something is in the wrong genre here. What is this gender bender stuff? Is this some sort of dream? He asks himself. He explains that he was going home after a stressful day of work when suddenly, the mood became red. Everyone in the city vanished, and the next thing he knew, he woke up as this young pretty boy with all his memories intact. Suddenly, someone shouts at his door. It's his dad saying, How, why aren't you awake yet? Our protagonist is confused. Dad? His dad tells him to get up, saying, I was told that you and Long Long made some sort of appointment to go shopping today. Your dad is going out to get some groceries. Did you forget? We're having dinner with Aunt John. You're a boy, and you need to take better care of yourself. Go learn how to put on some makeup with your friend, because I'm sure he could teach you. Now get up and dress. Our boy is lost, thinking, what am I? My friend will teach you makeup. Who the hell is that? Who is the guy named Long Long? Why am I called How? Why is there so much cute stuff? And why did my dad tell me to use makeup? Suddenly, his cell phone rings and someone shouts, How, open the door. He thinks maybe it's his brother Long from his past life, a buff guy with tattoos who is a true bro, always inviting him to drink beer with the boys. So he quickly takes off his cute clothes and runs to the door. But outside, the blonde guy says, oh my god, seriously, how? It's not cool making a handsome guy like me wait for so long. What if a girl with bad intentions is out there? Creepy. Zhang Hao is confused and asks, where is brother Long? Because this guy is definitely not him. But from inside the house, his father calls Long to enter. His father grabs his friend and says, look at this clothing, how? You should learn how to dress better from him, and Long thanks his father. But his father doesn't stop and says that his skin is too dry and he should pay more attention to skincare. Our protagonist thinks, skincare, makeup. What is this world I've been transported into? At that moment, he receives some memories from the guy who used to live in his body. In this world, the gender roles are reversed and everything in history is swapped. Since ancient times, all the empires in this world have been led by women, and men stay at home to take care of the children. Women are biologically stronger than men who have less strength, stamina, and power. Our protagonist just wants to know how he got into this mess. Sometime later, while walking in the city, his friend says, oh my god, how? We should get our nails done at the mall later, and we can also get some facial masks for you. Also, do you have some pepper spray? I've heard from social media that female gangs and hooligans are becoming more unruly these days. Our protagonist shouts at him to drop the cute stuff. You want to buy a mask? Go buy it yourself. Screw this reverse world, there will be no swap genders. He grabs Long's wrists and runs to a tattoo shop. Come on, dude. We're going to fix this girly look. He opens the door of the tattoo studio and shouts, hey boss, give me one of those dragon tattoos or one of those Chinese mafia gang tattoos now. But the girls stop him, saying that tattoos are a girl's thing and he shouldn't get one unless he's a bad boy. Suddenly, he takes off his shirt, saying, I'm not going to get lectured by a bunch of girls. When they see him shirtless, the legendary reverse nosebleed happens. The girls shout that if he's going to strip, they are willing to throw some money. But he doesn't stop and says, I want a blue dragon, a phoenix, and a white tiger. But Long shouts at him to stop, saying, you're being so indecent. After all that, he gets back home thinking, Jesus, the day keeps getting worse and worse. But that's when the thickest, juiciest, plumpest stepsister ever known to mankind appears. He enters her room without thinking and quickly runs out. Later that day at dinner, his dad says, didn't I tell you earlier? Your aunt and Kin are going to stay here for some time. That's when he understands the situation. His dad is marrying again, and that's why the girl is here. They are moving in because this house is bigger. But Kin doesn't stop looking at him. Back in his room, he's exhausted because his body is really weak since the guy who lived in it never exercised. He thinks he can imagine himself getting dolled up with cute makeup and dresses. Goddammit, I couldn't even get a tattoo today. So this is it. I'm living in a world where females are ruling. Dad and brother Ho became different people. If everything is reversed, do I need to act feminine? He shouts, I would never do that, and throws a teddy bear. I don't want to do this cute shit. But the bear becomes the smallest toy in the room when compared to two gigantic spheres. Jang Hao apologizes, but his sister rushes and throws him without a single ounce of hesitation. Poor boy. Our hero tells her that she's drunk, but she just takes his face to a warm, oozy mountain exploration while asking, How, did you miss me? He doesn't know what to say. She sees that he's getting shy and asks, Why do you look so red? Are you sick? Want me to take a look? Zhang Hao, with his nose bleeding and a plain face, says he's very oak. Later that night, someone says, Wake up now. His eyes are half closed, but suddenly he notices another one of those plump creatures ready to attack him. Our boy gets scared and asks, What the hell? Who are you? She asks, You don't remember who I am. Then she grabs him by the chin and says, I'm the entity that brought you to this world. He remembers the moment the red moon appeared and feels the same sensation. He says, So it was you. You're crazy. Why did you even bring me to this world? What did I ever do to you? She explains that she is the goddess of the red moon. I heard your pathetic prayers. Weren't you the one who complained about still being a virgin in the old world? There are so many girls in this world, and all of them would like to dry you up. But he asks her to take him back, saying, There's not a single normal girl in this world. Send me back home. She stares at him, calling him an ungrateful human. She says that if he completes a task, she will let him go. He asks what the task is, and she says, Back in the old world, didn't you always rant about trying to become a real man? Weren't you the one who said real men should always lift? Isn't that something you said? The task I will give you is very simple. If you become a real man in this feminist world, you might have an opportunity to find your way back. But if you are unable to do that, you will have to assimilate into this world. He asks if that means he's going to become a femboy, and she answers, Maybe, but is it really so bad? Then she vanishes, telling him to give this world a chance, and he would have a great time every day if he wanted. The next day, he wakes up and thinks, Damn, that was a strange dream. But when he looks to his side, he realizes it wasn't a dream. He starts to get ready, thinking, How the hell am I supposed to feel about all of this? But there's one thing I know, I look way too pretty for a dude. He decides he needs to learn more about this world. Sometime later, after reading a lot of newspapers, he thinks, You gotta be kidding. A 20-year-old male college student was sued for refusing to marry a rich cowgirl. Another student boy was sentenced for murdering his wife. What the hell is this? Even the crimes are reversed. And that isn't even the bad part. In this place, they have a way to know if a guy is still a virgin. Scientifically, males in this world are just too feminine. Physiological quirks resemble women in my previous world. Even male menstruation, dear God. This world is a nightmare for me. Is there no other way to go back? Put aside the blood moon god scene. I could technically go back if I can understand what happened the night I came here and try to make it happen again so I can go back. But then he thinks, Wait a minute, hold up. How am I gonna do this? I'm just a broke-ass high school student and I don't know anyone. Screw it. I'll have to leave this theory for later. But voice interrupts, You're awake. She blinks at him. Your other sister made you some breakfast. Would you like some? Oh, alright, breakfast sounds cool. Damn. Suddenly, he's like, Okay, not gonna lie, Blue Moon Goddess, this world isn't that bad. The next chapter starts with him getting ready for school. I gotta say, my face is kinda handsome. Chill out, dude. But it's still too feminine for my own taste. Today will be the day I go to school since coming to this world. Going back to school again. I don't know, I have some mixed feelings. When he goes to the kitchen, his stepfather is slapping his dead ass. I don't know if I like what I'm seeing. So he just excuses himself and runs to school, of course, with his best friend, Long Long. How, look at this lipstick I just got. Isn't the color great? He retorts, Get the f*** out of here, bro. Long Long responds, Oh my god, what's wrong with you? We used to do this often. You've changed. Listen here, how, I don't know about you, but I have a different concept of being a real man. And frankly, I want to become a real Chad. Long Long is like, how, you want to become a Chad? Like one of those macho men? That's not good. No one will want to marry you. He's getting angry. What are you saying? But then Long Long grabs him and says, There's someone there looking at us. And what? We are two guys. Long Long insists, Look there. Standing there is a girl who looks like a ratchet mod. John Hao says, What? You were afraid of that? Two big men like us afraid of some girl like her? She's harmless. And if she comes here to hurt you, I'll smack her all the same. I'm all about gender equality. Long Long is sweating. No, are you asleep? What nonsense are you talking about? You can't even lift a single brick. John Hao responds, What are you saying? I used to go to the gym every night. I used to join the MMA club. He grabs Long Long and runs to the school. Long Long protests, Oh my god, I hate running. I'll have to redo my makeup. John Hao thinks, Why am I running? And why is this body so weak? But then they arrive at Elysium Business School. Even here, everything is different from their old world. Girls are definitely stronger here. To think that gender roles have changed so drastically, not to mention that his current family is wealthy enough to send him to a private school like this. Then he gets to his classroom where a boy is asking a girl, Can you open this bottle for me? She replies, Okay, cutie, I'll do that for you. Piece of cake. He's like, What? The guy can't even open a bottle? He grabs it. Let me try that. I refuse to believe I can't even open this bottle of water. He tries to open the bottle. Oh, wait. This thing is really tight. Is this normal? Full restraint? Ultra instinctive. Everyone is looking. His hand is already hurting. I give up. I've become so freaking weak. What kind of man am I? If I can't even open a bottle of water, I'm a failure. The girl opens the bottle easily for the guy. A bunch of girls gather around him. What's wrong? How? Do you want me to open the bottle for you? I can do it. Not gonna lie, this world isn't that bad, is it? But he just sits at his desk, feeling defeated. Long notices and says that he's been acting strange. So don't worry about him. Emotional damage. The next chapter starts with him walking down the corridor. Long wants to stay with him. Wait for me. How? We should head to the toilet together. He just runs off. No shit. I don't need him with me. As he walks through the corridors, all the girls are like, oh my god, look at his skin. It's so porcelain smooth. His buttocks are so pretty. I want to squeeze it. He's so dreamy. Damn, so that's how sexual harassment feels, right? He thinks. I need to do something about my body. I'm still too weak. I need to find a place where I can exercise. Somewhere I can get stronger. On his phone, he looks up Muay Thai beginner classes. This seems legit. I should check it out. But muscle training alone won't help me become a true Chad. I need to be mentally prepared for this too. Who's gonna carry the boats? Becoming a true Chad is a state of mind. That's when his classmate Yuan comes up to talk with him. He's shocked by her sudden appearance. Are you some sort of ninja? You're sneaking up on me. She apologizes, saying she was calling him, but he was just looking at his phone. Suddenly, she gets way too close, way too fast, asking if he's sure he's not doing anything wrong. You're not talking to a girl, right? He panics, no. Like hell I would. I'm a traditional guy. Don't get so close to me. Men and women shouldn't get so close in public. But she's fast. She takes his hand, commenting on how soft and beautiful his hands are. Oh my god, these girls are so aggressive, he thinks. Pay attention to yourself, Yuan. Girls shouldn't act this way. She notices he's different today. You weren't acting like this before, she remarks. Maybe you haven't slept well recently. I know a good massage method. Let me rub your hands. She moves to grab him, but he tries to stop her. What? How is this girl so strong? I can't push her away. Fortunately, the teacher enters the room. Hurry back to your seats, students. The class is about to start. Miss Madeline, English teacher. Zhang Hao reads the book and realizes he understands everything, which is strange because he graduated a long time ago. At least in this alternate universe, he's a top student. He confidently looks at the teacher. Ask me anything and I will answer with no problem. She adjusts her glasses. Zhang Hao. Hey, I'm ready. She asks, are you all right? Is it hot today? Do you want to visit the infirmary? He replies, what the hell? I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me, teacher. All the girls comment that he's acting strange today. He shrugs, you know what? Screw it. I'll just do whatever I want. Next, he's walking with Long, who asks, what's wrong? You look so tired. How? He responds, you have no idea how I feel. Of course I'm tired. I'm very mentally tired. Then a girl holding 3 basketballs comes up to him. How? I just scored a 3-point shot. Didn't I look kinda cool? He's like, what the hell? As they walk down some stairs, a guy throws himself on the floor. How? Why did you push me? Trying to frame him. God damn it, he thinks. Getting attention from girls is one thing, but them grabbing my booty is another. This shitty reverse world is bullshit. I just want to go back to the old Earth. That's when another girl comes up to him. How? I've liked you since I met you. Will you go out with me? He's frustrated, thinking, God damn it. That's why I hate this world. Why is a girl confessing to me? Sorry, right now I'm not looking for a relationship. My mental health is deteriorating. He walks away and Long jealously remarks, oh my god, you received 20 confessions just today. I want to be a popular boy like you. He's just like, cut it out. Let's eat something. In the cafeteria line, he's thinking, what should I order? He looks at the other guy's plates, which are barely filled with food. He asks Long, why is everyone eating so little? Long replies, what are you saying? How? Every guy needs to eat like that or you're gonna get fat. He goes to take his food and asks for some salads and fried veggies. He's puzzled. What? Not even rice. You're gonna faint in the afternoon. But Long says, oh no, I'm just trying to lose some weight. That's when our boy realizes the difference in calorie needs in this world. He makes a mental list. How to be a real man. Step 1, exercise. Step 2, ask your bro Long to coach me. Step 3, get rid of all the flirty clothing I've got in my wardrobe. Step 4, be a Chad instead of a pretty boy. He rushes to the counter. Hey aunt, give me everything you have. I want to eat pork. I want a ribeye steak. I want a large portion of everything. Give me some good Asian rice as well. Long is shocked. Why are you eating so much? You'll get fat. How responds, a real man should eat more. I gotta eat to exercise after all. You wouldn't understand. Everyone in the cafeteria is staring at him, whispering, oh my god, why is he eating so much? I think he's just showing off. Then Li Feng shows up. Why do you eat so much? You look like some desperate foreigner working at hard labor jobs. Our boy just stares at him. Who are you? Li Feng responds, Zheng Hao, are you joking with me again? We studied together. Or have you gained so much weight that it went to your brain? Zheng Hao retorts, you're blind. I'm just trying to eat. First, you diss immigrant workers. Next, you diss fat people. So you're a racist and fatphobic. You're all sorts of nasty, huh? Liu Feng is taken aback and starts to cry. I was saying all that for your own good. Why do you say that about me? The girl starts siding with Liu Feng. Why did Zheng Hao make him cry? That was so unnecessary. But clearly he's just trying to manipulate everyone. Public opinion seems to be against Hao Hao until another girl steps in. How much Hao Hao eats is his business. Are you saying boys can't eat a lot? That's just discrimination against your own gender. She turns to our protagonist. Hao Hao, you're very hungry today, aren't you? If you need more meat. Hao Hao was momentarily taken aback, thinking, not gonna lie, she's pretty. But Liu Feng yells, Zhao Yun and Zheng Hao, you two. Hao Hao cuts him off. If you have something else to say it. If not, shut up and let your grandpa eat, alright? Leave now. Long Long, puzzled, asks, why are you calling yourself a grandpa? That doesn't make sense. But the girl, Zhao Yun, seems to like it, saying it's more attractive, like a wild kitty. Liu Feng storms off, you're all vulgar people, you know. Zhao Yun tries to offer more food, saying Hao Hao has all the time to eat. Hao Hao asks Long Long, who is this girl? Long Long replies, did you hit your head? That's Zhao Yun. She's had a crush on you for ages. Zhao Yun turns to Long Long. That game I introduced to you, League of Legends, have you tried it? Long Long hesitates. No, the game is too difficult. Boys aren't suited to play such games. Don't you want to play something like Candy Crush? Zheng Hao interjects, League of Legends. Are you talking about a 5v5, MOBA-style, arena-type PvP game? Long Long is surprised. What? Do you even know about it? You said games were just for girls. Zheng Hao retorts. Only girls play games in this world. What is the logic? Zhao Yun clarifies, that's not true. There are boys playing the game too. They're just not as good as the girls at the pro level. But hey, Hao Hao, shall we play together? Hao Hao stands up. I usually play support or jungle. I'm going back to the classroom. Boss Long, are you coming? They leave and Zhao Yun laments, oh my god, when will Hao Hao ever accept me? Back in the classroom, Hao Hao contemplates there are no pro players like Yuzi or Faker, but are the girls really that good in this world? What if the skill level isn't the same? I need to find a match to watch. The definition of being a real man in this world, what exactly does it mean? He asks Long Long, who's the girl alone in the window? Long Long responds, you mean her? Her name is Ming Wu Weiha, a transfer student. Long Long then shies away asking, hey Boss Long, are you interested in her? Zhang Hao replies, I mean, she's pretty, but she doesn't talk. I don't know. Zhang Hao grabs Long Long and says, nonsense. Just go up there and talk to her right now. Come on, boss. But Long Long hesitates. No, it should be the reverse. Men now have to take the lead. Zhang Hao insists, this is the past. Men now have to take the lead. He approaches her. Hello, I'm your classmate Zhang Hao, and this is Boss Long. Nice to meet you, Ming Wu Weiha. Normally girls would flock around him, but this girl doesn't react that way. Zhang Hao wonders about her story. He prompts Long Long, hey, say something. Long Long awkwardly asks, how are you? She replies, good. Zhang Hao notices the novel in her hands and asks, is that a novel you're reading? Long Long tries to discourage him. Stop it. She doesn't want to talk with us. But Zhang Hao presses on, yo, my bro here thinks you don't want to talk with us. She responds, I don't have an opinion on that. Zhang Hao thinks maybe she's just a little antisocial. He extends his hand. Hey, if you want to chat with someone, let's be friends. She hesitates, then says, oh, okay. Zhang Hao feels like this is the beginning of his journey to becoming a real man. Just then, Yuan shows up. Why are you bothering a transfer student? Zhang Hao gets an idea. Bingo. I know what I'm going to do. Thanks, Yuan. He then says to Ming Wu Weiha, you want to be friends with this girl? She's reluctant. Gaiden doesn't want to. But Zhang Hao blinks. Yes. She finally agrees. Okay, I'd love to. As Zhang Hao walks back to his desk, Yuan says, thank you. He smiles back. Back at home, Zhang Hao is listening to some Sigma male music. Can you break my heart? Suddenly, his sister shows up. What are you doing here in your room? He responds, I'm just listening to some music. Do you need something? She approaches him. What's wrong, Hao Hao? He brushes it off. It's nothing. She gets closer. Can I listen too? Zhang Hao panics. Oh my god. Why so close, girl? She comments, seems like Hao Hao here likes to listen to rock music. I guess our Hao Hao is very different from other boys. Different isn't so bad, is it? As she gets closer, he thinks, why is she coming up so close? Crap, what should I do? What would a real man do? The angel and demon on his shoulders argue. Endure it, Hao Hao. The path of the Sigma male is to resist temptation. The demon counters, forget Sigma, bro. A real alpha male should be the top G. If the girl delivers herself, you have to devour. In a moment of panic, he takes her by the shoulders and throws her onto the bed. She looks at him surprised. Damn, Hao. What's wrong? Do you need a hug? He's sweating, trying to regain control. Hey, I can't hold back. Suddenly, a strange memory flashes in his mind. You're mine. Wherever you go, I'll find you. He's shocked and steps back. What was that? What's up with the memory? His sister, concerned, grabs him by the shoulders. Are you sick, Hao? You're looking a little pale. He brushes it off, saying he just needs some sleep. Do you think I would look better with a shorter hairstyle? He, confused, responds, you look good in anything. He thinks, is it just me, or is my goddess and my sister a little weird? Screw it. I've got a siscon for sure. Gotta get rid of this beta male status ASAP. Determined to change his image, Jong Ho goes to a salon. The attendant greets him. Are you here for a haircut? You look so beautiful already. I'll make the best hairdresser for you. He insists, I'm fine. I just need a haircut. It doesn't matter. Sometime later, a woman shows up to sit here beautiful. What sort of hairstyle do you want? He replies, I don't really care. As long as it's short. Just cut it however you want. It doesn't have to be pretty. The hairstylist looks puzzled. I've never heard a request like that before. Any style him. She contemplates, I got it. He wants the opposite. The hairstylist teases, maybe he wants me to make him look even better. He's so sly. She then tells him, I will make you even more handsome. After what feels like ages, she finally finishes. All done. What do you think? Is it short enough? John Ha was shocked, thinking, what the hell? She cut it short, but now I'm even cuter. The hairstylist says there's no need to pay me. All I want is a photo so we can promote it for our future customers. He quickly declines, no pictures, I'll pay for it. She reluctantly agrees, all right, just let me know if you need any help from a professional salon. As he leaves, Jong Ho thinks, having an extra bit of style and charisma is great. I guess I can try to get used to this. Later, back at home, he examines his new hairstyle. Wow, this hairstyle doesn't exactly scream dominant male. It's funny for now. Haircut is done. Now I need new clothing. Let's see what I have right now. He looks through his wardrobe, frustrated. Damn, why do I only have this type of clothing? Sometime later, his dad calls for him. What's up? His dad, shocked, asks, what did you do to your hair? Why would you cut it so short? Jong Ho tries to explain, come on, Dad, I want to have my hair like this. It was bothering my eyes and was hard to see. His dad, clearly upset, says, are you trying to piss me off? Is this fun for you? Why did you cut it? Before things escalate, Kin steps in. She smiles, how you like it. Jong Ho thinks, God damn it. She then tells their dad to take it easy, saying there's nothing wrong with what he did. He looks way cuter this way, so don't be so mad. With things settled, she asks Jong Ho to come to her room, saying she has a present for him. He's curious, wondering, oh my god, what's her room going to look like? I don't know what I'm expecting. It's probably just going to look normal. She goes to her desk and grabs something, saying she bought it in a hurry but hopes he likes it. Jong Ho is surprised to see it's a pair of earrings. He thinks they look expensive, but she reassures him, as long as you like them, I'll buy you anything. He thinks to himself, damn, did I get a new sister or a sugar mama? In his room, Jong Ho stares at the black diamond earrings, contemplating whether to return them. But being a broke kid, he decides to keep them. Just then, he receives a message from Long Long. How, take a look at this. My new novel is up. I've already signed the contract. Soft and cute femboy versus the sassy CEO boss lady. A tale of forbidden love. Jong Ho thinks, what is this? Then he gets an idea. That's right. I could write a novel too. I could bring some stories from my world to this one and make some quick cash. Let's see. What should I write? The Return of the SS Soldier? Or maybe Solo Leveling? Or should I write Overflow? He boy. A few hours later, after expanding on his ideas and borrowing elements from various novels, he's done. I'm calling it A Real Woman in a Patriarchal World. The next chapter starts at school. He receives a message. Congratulations. Your novel has passed the signing application for the web novel. Please contact the editor in charge. Jong Ho is thrilled. Finally, I'm going to start earning some money. Writing a story every day is hard, but it's better than having no money in this world. Feeling celebratory, he decides, I'm going to buy some ice cream. As he heads to the store, he thinks the shop seems familiar. He recalls some memories. When I first met her, I thought she was my senior. Her body was really petite, but somehow that small body seemed so large that day. He reminisces about a girl named Ah Mei, the daughter of Uncle Jin from the grocery store next to his house. She was cute and lovely. After the day she protected him, he visited the shop frequently. He remembers gathering the courage to confess to her, saying, Miss May, I really like you. But she responded with, oh sorry, I like men with muscles. Jong Ho reflects, God damn it. Brother, that was the sign you should have started hitting the gym. Since that day, I've been obsessed with exercising and training my own body. One day, I will become someone like Chris Bumstead, and I will protect her, Jong Ho vowed to himself. But back to the present, he's now a different person, good-looking and confident. If I confess to her this time, it's going to be a success, he thought as he entered the store. Inside, he heard someone discussing making money. Then she appeared out of nowhere. Oh my god, Sister Ah Mei, he thought, taken aback by her unchanged appearance, save for a noticeable change in physique. His thoughts raced. Holy brother, she's juicing for sure. How? You cut your hair. He was so shocked that he stumbled, falling to the floor. What happened to you? She asked, concerned. What's wrong? How? Do you need me for something? He just shouted, Goddess, bring back my May. The next chapter started with him sitting in a chair as she brought some watermelons. It seemed he had fainted. He mumbled, No, Miss May, I don't wanna. but she grabbed him by the shoulder and the chair broke under the force. How, are you okay? She asked, worried. He quickly got up, doing some acrobatic moves to avoid her. I'm fine. I'm out of here. She tried to give him her number, but he was flustered, thinking, God damn it, even that petite girl became a King Kong. I really need to sign up for a Muay Thai class as soon as possible. I also have to buy gifts for my sister and replace my closet. God damn it, why does everything need money? He sighed, realizing that even with gender roles reversed, the biggest problem remained money. How, you're back. He was stunned. Oh my god. Sister Kin, are you practicing yoga? She nodded. I just wanted to practice a little bit of what boys used to do. He thought, boys do yoga in this world? What the hell? She approached him, but he pulled away. Hey, where are you going with that hand, girl? She advised him, you need to get stronger so you won't get bullied at school. He felt a pang of embarrassment. Oh my god, in her eyes, I'm so weak. Can this be tolerated? Determined to prove himself, he challenged her, Sister Kin, do you want to try arm wrestling with me? She accepted, and he added, how about the loser promising the winner one thing? She agreed, and they started. Boom, this is not just arm wrestling. This is about my dignity, he thought, channeling the strength of trillions of male ancestors. But despite his determination, Kin noticed he was struggling and worried he might injure himself. She ended the match asking if he was okay. He admitted defeat, asking what she wanted as her prize. She simply said, I want to try the feeling of a knee pillow. Jianhao was confused but agreed, thinking, oh my god, she's blushing. When he realized she meant she wanted to lie on his lap, he was shocked. So I'm the lap pillow? As she lay down, he thought, she can lie down as much as she wants. The next scene began with him working on his novel when his phone rang. It was Yuan, the blonde girl from school, inviting him to the amusement park. She mentioned that Yuha and Long would also be there. Just then, he heard shouting outside his window. He looked out to see Long and what seemed to be his sister. She immediately jumped on him, much to his confusion. Who the hell is this girl, Long? He asked. The girl, upset, cried, why don't you remember me? How could you forget? Long explained, it's been 4 years since he saw you. Of course, he doesn't remember. Although Jianhao didn't want to go to the amusement park, Long insisted, saying you had needed some friends. Resigned, Jianhao agreed, all right, we're going. Put on some clothes. As they prepared, Long's sister took a picture of him. She remarked on his appearance, you are so beautiful today. They all decide to go to the haunted house, and upon arriving, Long already looks nervous and trembles, saying, I don't want to go. Jianhao encourages him, come on, you're a man, don't act this way. They have a brief discussion about who will go with whom, and it ends with Yuan, Long and his sister going together, leaving Jianhao and Yua paired up. As they walk through the haunted house, Jianhao asks, hey Yua, are you afraid? She doesn't respond, so he offers, if you're afraid, just hold on to me. She quietly grabs onto him. As they navigate through the spooky attractions, Jianhao sees some skeletons but remains unfazed, jokingly saying, sorry bro, I'm in a hurry. After wandering around for a while, he realizes Yuha is missing. Concerned, he starts searching for her, until he hears a faint voice from a cabinet. I'm here. Opening the cabinet, he finds Yuha hiding inside, crying. He gently reassures her, hey, don't be afraid. I'll take care of you. She timidly takes his hand, calming down a bit. Sometime later, they exit the haunted house. Long is shouting, I would never go in there again. Yuan teasingly says, you've been inside together for a long time, haven't you? Jianhao flicks her forehead and retorts, stop thinking nonsense. Yua appears, looking tired, and suddenly collapses. Everyone panics, suggesting calling an ambulance, but Jianhao calmly suggests, let's just take her to a bench and let her relax. She probably just fainted from fright. They lay her on a bench and Long suggests, you need to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Yuan protests, no, why don't we just call an ambulance? She's clearly distressed, not wanting the situation to escalate. Jianhao tells her, shut up, just go buy some water and some food, and then lays Yuva's head in his lap. As he gently massages her ears, she wakes up confused. What are you doing? He explains, I was just trying to wake you up. She admits she was scared, and he reassures her, it's fine now. It might be better if you avoid haunted houses in the future. She nods and closes her eyes, drifting back to sleep. Jianhao thinks to himself, this is by far the quietest and shyest girl I've met in this world. She has a peculiar personality. After some time, everyone checks on Yuha, asking how she feels. She assures them she's fine. Yuan suggests they continue to the amusement park, but Jianhao decides, nah, forget it today. Let's just go home first. Yua, holding his hand, insists, let's go together. Yuan and Long's sister clearly don't like this development. Later, they arrive at a luxurious villa greeted by maids. The butler scolds Yuha, how can you sneak out to play? You shouldn't have gone so far. Everyone is shocked, realizing Yuha is incredibly wealthy. The butler continues, turns out you're all friends of hers. My apologies for being rude. Here, have some tea soaked in Taishan spring water and pastries made by special chefs. The group is impressed by the expensive offerings. Yuna goes to her room to change clothes, leaving everyone in awe of her wealth. I didn't imagine she was so rich. They murmur, still in shock. Jianhao, however, doesn't seem overly impressed. As they walk through the villa, the butler admonishes Yuha, Miss, you went so far today. Don't do this next time or everyone will worry. Yua suddenly stops and asks, did dad call home? And where's mom? The butler responds, no, they're busy. Yua questions, then why didn't dad call me? The butler explains, I think he's very busy abroad, but I'm sure he will come with some gifts. She brushes off the explanation and heads to her room, leaving the butler looking sad. Later, Yua returns, now dressed in more luxurious clothing. While everyone else is impressed, Jang Hao notices a change in her demeanor. Although she looks more gorgeous, she now seems like a lifeless doll, he thinks. He asks her, hey, what's wrong with you? She responds sadly, dad didn't call me again. Feeling unsure of how to comfort her, he awkwardly offers, what do I do? But before he can figure it out, she grabs his hands and says, Zheng Hao, I want to give you something. They head to her room, which she finds surprisingly feminine. Curious, he asks, where are your parents? She replies, my dad is good to me, but he's very busy. He presses further, and your mother? She explains she's even busier. He realizes, so you're always alone? She simply responds, yes. Yuva explains that her mother is the mayor of the city and her father is always traveling. Despite their absence, the butler reassures her that they love her. However, she questions if she can truly believe him. Zheng Hao tries to comfort her, saying in the future, if you feel lonely, you can find me to hang out. In a sudden burst of excitement, Yuva grabs his hand and pulls him along, saying, come with me. They end up in a room full of weapons, where she excitedly offers him her favorite gun. He's taken aback, thinking, I'd be beaten to death if I brought this home. She insists, smiling, this is my most precious possession. The housekeeper says that friends can give gifts to each other, and I want to be friends with you for life. Zheng Hao, somewhat awkwardly, replies, we can be friends even without the guns. She hugs him tightly, declaring we must be together forever, inseparable. He thinks, okay, she's moving fast. The next chapter starts with them leaving Yua's home. As they walk, Long mentions, seeing her in different clothing makes me want to buy some new ones. Zheng Hao agrees, yeah, that's perfect. I need new clothes too. Long suggests, in that case, let's go shopping tomorrow. They go shopping, and while Long is drawn to cute outfits, Zheng Hao struggles to find something that suits his desired image. After their shopping spree, they decide to grab something to eat and head to a McDonald's. There, they notice a girl staring at them. Zheng Hao feels uneasy, thinking, why does it feel like someone's always watching me? Meanwhile, a girl in the corner posts on social media, a little handsome boy at McDonald's, I really want to marry and take him home. She adds a heart-shaped eye emoji and sends the post. Long notices Zheng Hao wearing a hat and asks, why are you suddenly wearing a hat? Zheng Hao replies, I'm too handsome and need to keep a low profile. Long jokes, you really need to be careful or you'll end up becoming an internet celebrity. Zheng Hao laughs it off, thinking it's an exaggeration. However, the situation quickly escalates. Zheng Hao becomes a top 5 trending topic on social media. Girls are gushing over his looks, saying this peerless beauty doesn't really exist. Doesn't he look better than those celebrities? Let's find out everything about this beautiful boy. One girl seeing the post recognizes him and remembers a post from Long's sister about their day at the amusement park. Caption, the day I went to the amusement park with a god. Back at home, Zheng Hao is exhausted from all the attention. Long calls him and he answers, annoyed, why are you calling me again? Long explains, someone posted a photo of you at McDonald's and now it's being reposted everywhere. Confused, Zheng Hao says, that doesn't make sense. It's just a photo, right? But when he checks Twitter, he sees he's already at the top 4 trending topics. He groans, what have I done? He reassures himself, it doesn't matter. In a few days, everyone will forget about it. He tries to relax by watching some games on Twitch, but he notices a shift in the content. The just chatting category, typically dominated by girls, now features boys. He switches to a PUBG stream, noting that while the game itself hasn't changed, the host is now a girl, which shouldn't be a problem for him. Reflecting on his situation, he wonders, how old am I now? Can minors stream live games? Just then, his sister comes home. She notices the fuss and says, I didn't know my little brother is now an internet celebrity. Feeling awkward, he responds, oh, now you know about this too. She asks if he went out with Long today, but before he can answer, she suddenly jumps on him, worried. Didn't you get harassed by some weird people? He reassures her, no, don't worry. I can protect myself. She scolds him, you are too naive. The women in this world are much scarier than you think. If you're ever harassed, you must tell your sister. And next time you go out, you need to tell me. He agrees, but then he notices that her phone background is a picture of him and Long. Surprised, he wonders, who took this photo? The next chapter opens with girls looking for Zheng Hao. He's trying to hide, bewildered by the situation. Long calls him, advising, you shouldn't come to school today. There are a bunch of girls in front of the school because you're trending. Zheng Hao sighs, goddammit, I can't go to school. He asks his sister to talk to the school on his behalf, planning to stream some games instead. He decides to play League of Legends, admiring his in-game skills. Look at this Yasuo, he comments, enjoying the game. He achieves a quadra kill, then a pentakill, feeling confident. It looks like I haven't lost my gaming skills in this world. After playing for a while, he prepares to broadcast his gameplay later that night. After eating, He excuses himself and heads to his room, ready to embrace his new role as a streamer. But his sister notices something unusual as he gets ready to stream. Yo, okay, it's my first time, so I'm a little nervous. Jeng-ho begins, welcoming viewers with, "Welcome to Summoner's Rift." Despite the nerves, he decides to play Yasu in the jungle, farming dragon at level 3, and even manages to kill someone playing Garen. The girl he's playing against, who happens to be a professional esports player, is shocked. She's smurfing and streaming and can't believe she got killed at this level, thinking he's way too good for someone new. Her chat blows up with questions, "How did you lose?" Some accuse Zheng Hao of cheating and pretending to be a boy. Annoyed, she declares she'll get serious, and her rapid clicks and skillful plays ensue. Despite her best efforts, Zheng Hao still manages to slay an enemy. As she frowns, someone in her chat mentions that the opposing player is also streaming. Zheng Hao, noticing a growing audience, remarks, "Yeah, she's kind of awesome, but I'm better." As the game progresses, Zheng Ho's chat fills with accusations of cheating. People speculate he's a girl using a boy's ID, with some demanding proof he's male. Frustrated, Zheng Ho grabs his headset and asserts, "Let me tell you, I'm a man, and I want to know, how did you all find my live stream?" To prove it, he turns on his camera, showing his hands. The chat goes wild, complimenting his hands and clamoring for a face reveal. Some even fetishize his hands, much to his confusion. Starting a new game, the scene cuts to a girl in her office watching his stream. "God damn it, another one," she mutters, recognizing his potential. She thinks, if signed, this newcomer could definitely become a cash cow for the company. After finishing his stream, Zheng Hao signs off, "All right, let's stop for today. Thank you all for the support. This was my first day of broadcasting. See you later, boys." The next day, he talks with Long Long about school. "How is it today? Are there still many people asking about me?" Long Long replies, "There are a lot fewer people today, probably because they didn't see you yesterday. But still, there's a lot of talk." Relieved, Zheng Hao says, "Thank goodness this popularity is fading fast. I should be able to go to school tomorrow." Long Long then asks, "So how, what you been doing at home these past 2 days?" Zheng Hao admits, "I've been writing my novel and doing some live streams." Shocked, Long Long shouts, "What? You started live streaming? When? Tell me everything." Zheng Hao quickly covers his mouth, "Keep your voice down. No one can know. All right? And I haven't signed a contract with the platform." Just then, his phone rings with a notification, "Dear user, you have opened a live broadcast on the Douyu Live Broadcast platform, and your popularity has reached the threshold to sign a contract." Long Long is ecstatic, "Yo, this is a good thing, brother. Hurry up and sign it. With your good looks, you're definitely going to become very popular and make a ton of money." But Zheng Hao hesitates, "No, I'm just a student. This live broadcast might affect me too much, and all the fame isn't going to be good." Long Long suggests you can just wear a mask when you broadcast. All you have to do is do some dances and people will give you gifts. Zheng Hao retorts, "I do game live broadcasting. It doesn't matter if I don't show my face." As they leave, Zheng Hao notices someone following them. Trying to lose the tail, he tells Long Long, "Yo, I have to go to the supermarket to buy something, so I can't go with you, okay?" Long Long leaves and Zheng Hao confronts the followers, saying, "You don't need to follow me. Come on out." A pink-haired girl appears, looking somewhat savage. She exclaims, "I'm so lucky. The internet celebrity is right in the territory I manage. Handsome guy's sister will take care of you, okay?" She even sticks her tongue out teasingly. Confused, Zheng Hao asks, "Big sister, who are you?" A girl behind her shouts, "Don't you know our sister Liu? She runs everything around these streets." Zheng Hao looks at the girl and says, "Oh, so Ms. Liu, I don't know you and I'm not interested. Also, I need to go home and take a shit." The girl shouts again, but this time she gets punched in the face by her own gang member. She then looks at Zheng Hao and says she likes his personality, admitting that she doesn't want to offend him. She just wants him as her boyfriend. He doesn't look too happy with this idea. He knows that it's probably the dream of a lot of guys in this world to be taken care of by a rich woman. Looking at her, he sees that she's really tall and not bad looking. For a moment, he feels interested, but then he remembers what the Red Moon goddess told him. He needs to become a real man. He can't just rely on being taken care of. So he responds, "I'm not interested, so excuse me, I'm in a hurry." As he tries to walk past her, she pulls out a knife and threatens, "It would be so sad if your face got ruined." Zheng Hao responds, "Let's try it." She seems even more intrigued by his defiance. He quickly punches her in the face and elbows her in the chest, causing her to fall to her knees. She's not enjoying this as much as she thought she would, and a kick comes her way, but she manages to defend against it. Realizing the situation is escalating, she tries to punch him, but he dodges and holds the knife defensively. However, she dodges as well. Zheng Hao has already dialed the police. He says, "I'd already called them. I advise you not to do this again." Ms. Liu smirks and says, "Okay, a little handsome. All right, I won't do this anymore." One of her underlings asks, "You're going to let him go just like that?" She responds, "You need to be patient with the beauties. What do you think, handsome boy?" Zheng Hao replies, "Stop here and don't follow me." She's clearly getting more excited, but Zheng Hao realizes this situation was recorded. In the same office as before, Mr. Wei finds out about Zheng Hao's growing popularity. "Why do I have to worry about this? This is a job for the scouts," she says. However, her assistant explains it was the chairman who told me to show you. Intrigued, Mr. Wee looks at Zhang Hao's photo and comments. He just looks like a high school student, but he does have some personality. With his look, maybe he can be at the top of the company. They decide to investigate further. Back at school, Zhang Hao plays basketball, but he's sneezing frequently. Long Long suggests he rest, but Zhang Hao insists he's fine and just wants to shoot some hoops. He easily makes a three-point shot, proving that boys can play basketball too. The girls cheered him on, and once again, someone records him. It turns out to be someone paid by the pink-haired girl from the alley. Although the person hides, Zhang Hao finds it strange. After school, while heading home, Zhang Hao notices someone taking pictures of him. He looks towards a bush, and Long Long asks what's wrong. Zhang Hao dismisses it, saying it feels like someone has been watching him all day. Remembering the background photo on his sister's phone, he wonders if it might be someone related to her. After everyone leaves, Zhang Hao approaches a girl hiding behind a tree and demands, "Hey, let me see your phone. You secretly took a photo of me, didn't you?" She admits to taking one picture, but Zhang Hao finds a video of him playing basketball. She apologizes, explaining she's just a subordinate of Liu's sister, who promised to pay 200 yuan for any picture of him. Zhang Hao, frustrated, asks himself why he hasn't given up yet. After deleting the media, he gives the phone back and the girl runs away. Zhang Hao realizes that Ms. Liu is a problem he needs to solve soon. The scene shifts to a plaza where Zhang Hao meets Long Long. As they walk through the mall, they discuss the contract Zhang Hao will sign with the streaming platform. Today, however, Zhang Hao is there to buy a gift. Long Long teases, "What? Do you like someone? Who are you picking this gift for? Please tell me, I'm so curious." Zhang Hao, embarrassed, replies, "It's just for my sister." Zhang Hao told Long Long that he had signed a contract with the Douyu livestream platform. He explains, "I won't show my face unless I want to. I will only livestream what I want and won't attend any offline events unless I choose to. The best part is that I don't need to sexualize myself." Long Long is impressed, asking, "How did you get such a good contract?" Zhang Hao admits he doesn't know. "I just asked, and they accepted." As they continue talking, they notice someone watching them. It's Liu Feng, the guy from school who criticized Zhang Hao for eating too much. It seems he's planning something bad. Later, as they go to the bathroom, Liu Feng and his cronies follow them. Liu Feng decides to stand guard outside while the others go inside to mess with Zhang Hao. As they leave the bathroom, one of Liu Feng's friends intentionally bumps into Zhang Hao. Zhang Hao steps aside and calmly asks, "What are you doing, boy?" Liu Feng's friend shouts, "Hey, don't you have eyes when you walk? You almost ran into my friend." Long Long retorts, "Are you blind? It was your friend who bumped into him." The guy grabs Long Long by the collar, demanding, "Who are you calling blind?" Zhang Hao intervenes, saying, "No problem with bumping into me, but don't put your hands on my friend." The guy yells, but Zhang Hao stays calm. "Get out of the way and let us go." Suddenly, the guy tries to spit on Zhang Hao, who dodges and exclaims, "Are you sick?" Enraged, Zhang Hao punches him. The guy's friend steps in to help, but Long Long stops him, engaging in a fierce fight. Damn, he's looking like Killua in this frame, Zhang Hao thinks as Long Long handles the situation with unexpected skill. After some punches, Long Long warns, "Next time, I'll break your legs." The guy, fuming, mutters, "You dared to hit me in the face. I'm going to call my girlfriend and ask her to bring someone." Later, outside the mall, someone shouts, "There he is, it's that guy." A girl, referred to as the Trambolona girl, approaches and asks, "Is that the bastard who bullied you?" The guy confirms, yes, it was him. The plan is to take pictures and post them on the school forum. They confront Zhang Hao, with the guy declaring, "Wife, he was the one who hit us." Zhang Hao responds defiantly, "How dare you weak chickens come to me again?" Long Long tries to explain, "It was all your fault, you tried to spit on us." Zhang Hao, getting impatient, says, "Go quickly, I'm in a hurry." But the Trambolona girl seems smitten with him, staring at his face. Her boyfriend, annoyed, shouts, "Wife, what are you in a daze for? Teach him a lesson." She responds, "No matter what, it's wrong to hit someone first. But I'm not unreasonable. If you apologize to my boyfriend, we'll forget about today's matter." The guy wants his girlfriend to attack Zhang Hao, but she hesitates, noting the crowd. Frustrated, he accuses her of falling for Zhang Hao. "You fall in love with him? Right. I saw the way you were staring at him." Zhang Hao remains calm. "Please just go. Get out of my way." The guy tries to stop him again, but Zhang Hao warns, "I'll warn you, if you mess with me again, I will beat you until you lose all sense." The Trambolona girl interjects, "Shut up, or you're not gonna get that Gucci bag." She then turns to Zhang Hao and asks for his number. From afar, someone named Yefei records everything to post on the school's social media forum. Meanwhile, a limousine pulls up nearby. Mr. Wei, observing from her car, sees Zhang Hao. Yefei continues recording. "Liu Xin, the pink-haired girl, why are you filming?" Yefei tries to hide, but Liu Xin grabs his phone. "Oh, so you're looking for trouble? Dare to take a photo of my man." She grabs his neck, and Yefei seems oddly pleased, almost enjoying it. Liu Xin then says, "Come with me to see your brother-in-law." The Trembolon girl, seeing Liu Xin, becomes nervous. Why is Liu Xin here? Liu Xin approaches Zheng Hao and says it's only been 2 days, but do you know how much I missed you? He ignores her and turns away. She then addresses the guy on the ground. She caught him taking pictures of you. Zheng Hao looks back, asking, what do you want? Liu Xin, seemingly preparing for a fight, instead grabs a bouquet of roses and walks over to Zheng Hao. She pleads, please go on a date with me. I really like you, Zheng Hao. As long as you're my boyfriend, you can do whatever you want. He's thinking, why don't we just fight? Could she at least follow the script? He says, I'm not interested in you. It's impossible to deal with you. If you have nothing else to do, just get out of my way. Brother, she's not going to stop. She says she's too anxious and asks him to please accept the flowers. He's staring at the flowers, thinking, the first time I saw her, she showed me a knife and now she's bringing flowers. Sister, take the flowers away. I'll tell you again I cannot be your boyfriend, so please leave. She tells everyone to leave the place. She approaches Long Long and says, come here, you were Zheng Hao's friend, right? He doesn't like it. She whispers in his ear, you better take care of your friend. If my people go crazy on him, I can't stop them. She actually used my friend to threaten me. Oh no, he's going to fall into her hands. Why don't we take a step back? Just tell me what you want. She grabs his cheeks and says, since the male god said so, of course I can take a step back. How about you go to a bar with me for a drink tonight? He says, okay, just tell me the time and address. She tells him the address and says she'll be waiting for him. He guarantees that he'll be there. Sometime later, Long Long tells him, how, that woman just now looked like a gangster. She doesn't seem safe and you're going to a bar with her. Isn't it better to call the police? Zheng Hao explains that unfortunately, they can't do that. They don't have any criminal evidence, so she would just be released and then come back to bother them. He says, tonight, I'll go see your attitude first. Don't worry, I have practiced Kung Fu. They can't do anything to me. Long Long grabs him, no brother, you must not die. Relax, dude. It's just a bar, not an execution. At that moment, a woman wearing glasses shows up and asks Zheng Hao to come with her. He's annoyed. Again, this is so inconvenient. Then a group of what should be intimidating girls shows up, and he reluctantly agrees, all right, lead the way. He tells Long Long to go home and to call him if he needs anything. The scene shifts to Zheng Hao walking into an office. Seeing the woman, he thinks her aura is too strong. Her name is Wai Nan, president of Feng Hong Media Group. She looks at him, gets up, and walks closer. Good qualifications. There's no one like you in the market. Now look, sign this contract. I can make you famous. He grabs the contract, glances at it, and says, sorry, you may have got the name wrong. I don't intend to be a star, and I don't want you to make me popular. I'm in a hurry to go home for dinner, so I'm leaving. The secretary grabs his shoulder. You're just a high school student. Don't be so ignorant. With a swift movement, he grabs her wrist and says, I said I don't wanna, and throws her to the floor. Wei Nan seems interested and moves towards him. He dodges her first attack and goes to punch her face, but she blocks it. Oh damn, he's hand-locked. She says, a high school boy who can also work hard. This is a bonus. He responds, thank you, but I don't want to accept your kindness. She tells him there's no rush and that in this world, there's nothing she cannot do. She'll give him some time to think about it and instructs the secretary to send him back, saying, I was thinking this woman is not going to be easy to deal with. The next chapter starts with him at home preparing to see the girl at the club. He takes a recording pen, a pocket knife, and pepper spray. He sends a message to Long Long. If I don't call you by 8:30, call the police. Tonight, I need to find a way to draw a line with Liu Xin. We then see him walking in the rain, heading to the bar she told him to come to. When he enters, someone welcomes him and says, Zheng Hao, our boss has been waiting for a long time. He just says, lead the way. In one of the rooms in the bar, the girl is sitting on a couch. When they enter, he says, I promised you that I would be here today, but I don't want to do anything to you as a person. Why don't we just go back to the beginning of our relationship? You don't know me, I don't know you, it's good for everyone. But she responds that it's going to be difficult to do and moves closer. He insists, you know it's impossible. If you do this again, I'm going to call the police. She taunts, call the police, but I'm just chasing a boy. Is there something wrong? A girl behind him interjects, Sister Liu, stop talking nonsense with him. Let's just take some photos and videos of him. If he tries to resist, we'll post everything on the internet. He looks at her, bewildered. What do you mean by that? While they think he's scared, he's actually relieved because his voice recorder is on. Sister Liu asks, what did my little girl say to make sense? The girl pulls out a knife. He remarks, oh, you even brought that. Is it because if I refuse, you're going to kill me? Sorry, but I... Then he quickly uses his spray, rushes to her, grabs the knife, and holds her as a hostage. Sister Liu is impressed. You're brave enough. He warns, don't even think about sending anyone over unless you want to see blood in the streets. It also won't do you any good to call the police. He heads to the door, releases the girl, and walks away. The girl, undeterred, thinks, Zheng Hao, I have all the time to play with you. But then she receives a message, Sister Liu, Zheng Hao asked me to send this picture of you. He said that he recorded all the conversations in the box just now. If you don't want him to send these things to the police, don't provoke him anymore. Enraged, she shouts, no wonder you dared to be so rude just now, you little bitch. Meanwhile, someone observes Zheng Hao running away and informs Mr. Wei that he's fine. The next chapter starts at school. Zheng Hao reflects on what he did yesterday, hoping the threat will keep the crazy girl away. He overhears two girls talking about Sister Liu, mentioning that someone from the Feng Hong group has just taken over her place. He wonders, Feng Hong group, what's happening? Why do these names sound familiar? Then he remembers, wait, isn't that the company of Mr. Wei? Curious about the relationship between Mr. Wei and Liu Xin, he ponders the connection. Later, he finally returns home to find his sister preparing dinner. What a delicious-looking meal, he thinks, noticing that they are alone in the house. He asks, where is Dad and Aunt? They're not home? Are you alone, Sister King? She explains that they had to work overtime and won't be home tonight. His imagination starts running wild, wait, we're alone at home tonight. She flicks his forehead. How, what are you in a daze for? He quickly responds, nothing, sister, let's just eat. He mentally chastises himself, Jesus Christ, it's your sister, brother. I should not think those things even though there's no blood relationship. After dinner, she tells him to leave everything. She'll clean up. She suggests he go upstairs and start streaming. He offers, are you sure you don't want any help? She grabs his hands and says, I will never let your beautiful hands be stained with oil. He reluctantly agrees, okay, all right. Back in his room, he starts streaming again. He announces today is going to be 2 hours and I'm going to be playing some ranked games. 2 hours later, his sister comes into his room and asks, are you tired of live streaming? She pats the bed and says, come here, I'll give you a massage. Brothers, we must stay strong, he thinks as he shyly approaches her, saying, it's fine, you just did some housework, you should take a break. She pulls him towards her, happy that it seems he cares a lot about her. He assures her, of course I care about you, we are family. However, it seems she doesn't like the word family and recalls a memory of him as a child saying, Sister King, don't be afraid. Hao will always be your family member. Suddenly, she starts crying and he asks, what's wrong? What's the problem, sister? She responds that she's crying because she's so happy right now. Jiang Hao reflects on the situation, thinking, at least in this world, my father doesn't have to be alone. He actually has a family. He then says, as long as I am in this world, I will protect this family and make sure that everyone is happy. She seems surprised and apologizes for crying in front of her little brother. He reassures her, sister, thank you for treating me like a real family. Oh damn, brother, she's looking at him in a way that suggests she might have something more than family stuff on her mind. Now both are lying in bed and he asks, King, are you sure we should go to sleep together tonight? She tells him that right now is the perfect time since Dad and Mom are not at home and she has always wanted to have this close conversation. He's curious. All right, what do you want to talk about? While looking at her, she gets close and asks, what type of girl do you like? He stammers, maybe gentle and kind. She continues, is there someone like that in your school? He thinks about Yuha and then shakes his head. She advises him that he's still too young and should focus on studying. She also mentions that since he's good-looking, she, as his sister, always worries about him. As they talk, he drifts off to sleep. Sometime later, he wakes up wondering if it was all a dream. He gets out of bed, goes to her room, but can't seem to find her. As he looks at her bookshelf, he finds something interesting, a story about a sister who likes to do something with her brother. He's shocked. What the hell is this? Could it be that his sister has some thoughts about this? She even cried when he told her that they were family yesterday. Suddenly, he got a headache and recalled some memories. A girl with glasses seemed to be bullying some other guys and taunting him. In the next chapter, we start with him doing a live stream. However, he finishes early and everyone in the chat is asking, do you have some problem? What's going on? He ignores the chat, feeling distracted and unable to focus today. His mind is elsewhere, particularly on the memory of the girl with glasses, which makes him feel sad. Additionally, his viewers aren't increasing and he realizes he needs to come up with ways to grow his stream because he needs the money. He receives a message from the streaming platform informing him that his popularity isn't growing and offering some suggestions. He accepts and gets a follow-up message the next day. Dear streamer, here are some plans to increase your popularity. These plans were tailored for him by a girl, and he suspects they might involve something distasteful. The suggestions include Option 1, hot dance with small buttocks. God damn it, he exclaims. Plan 2, two-dimensional sexy cosplay reappears. Alright, Option 3, fitness god, sweat dripping. He's exasperated, I knew it. He and Long Long head to a coffee shop where Long Long asks, why did the administrator want to interview you? He's unsure. I don't know. She just told me to come here, so let's go in. They are greeted by Sung Kim, the administrator of his live stream. She introduces herself, saying, you can call me Sister Sung. He introduces Long Long and explains that he's seen the suggestions but isn't going to do any of them. Sung Kim says she watches his live stream every day and didn't expect him to accept the first and second options, but suggests he consider the last one, which involves fitness. Why? He asks, confused by her intensity. Suddenly, she stands up, touches his chest, and suggests, I think your chest line could benefit from some exercise, don't you think? Despite feeling awkward, she continues, even if you don't want to show your face, you can wear a mask to live stream fitness. Your physique is impressive and it would set you apart from other streamers. Long Long thinks it's a reasonable suggestion and Zheng Hao considers that if he can wear a mask and not show too much skin, it might not be so bad. Plus, he can demonstrate to other males in this world how to build their bodies. He agrees, alright, starting tomorrow, I'll spend 2 or 3 days a week live streaming fitness for half an hour, but I'll wear a mask. The scene shifts to his home, where his father is shocked by the news. You're going to expose yourself online? I disagree. His father grabs him by the neck. You want to stream for those girls online? In tight fitness clothing? I disagree. Jang Hao tries to explain, Dad, it's just my workout. It's going to be discreet. His father argues, aren't you always saying I'm too good looking and could be taken advantage of? I need to train and get stronger. His sister intervenes, Uncle, don't be so strict. What Hao Hao says makes sense. Let him try it once and we'll see. If there's anything wrong, we'll make him stop. His father reluctantly agrees, muttering that she's spoiling him too much. Jang Hao thanks her, but she warns him, I'll be watching. If there's a flood of crazy girls in the live stream, I'll shut it down. In his room, Jang Hao starts his first fitness live stream. As he begins with cardio, everyone in the chat is abuzz. Oh my god, you're so sexy, hot, and in good shape. Please show me your feet. He responds to the chat. Noting the high number of viewers, it seems a lot of people enjoy fitness. While many testosterone babes in the city love him, their husbands are less enthusiastic. In the chat, someone promises, if you run for at least 15 minutes, I'll send 2 rocket launchers, which translates to a significant monetary donation. After 30 minutes, the chat marvels, holy, he's still going. However, his sister grows increasingly uneasy, worried about the attention he's receiving. How, she calls out, concerned. As Jang Hao's live stream gains more viewers, his sister watches, feeling a pang of jealousy. There's so many people watching you. I'm so jealous. What am I going to do? She thinks to herself, I can't be like I was when I was a kid. Otherwise, he'll get further and further away from me. After finishing his run, Jang Hao announces, that's it for today. I'm going to take a shower. His sister approaches him, concerned, hey, this was way too much. Why don't you stream less in the future? It's distressing me. But he reassures her, saying this amount's okay for him. Suddenly, she slaps his cheek. He is taken aback. No, this must be an illusion. Some sort of genjutsu trick. As night falls, his sister comes into his room staring at him. How, if we hadn't been separated back then? She gets closer, and stops. A memory floods Jang Ho's mind of a girl asking, is there no one to play with you? Then let's go together. The scene shifts to her fighting the several kids on the ground. He tells the girl she's too scary, but she grabs his collar and says, we promise to be together forever. Don't be afraid. Come home with me. Jang Hao wakes up with a headache, dismissing it as unimportant. I have to go to school, he mutters. Just then, he hears a woman's voice and looks beside him. What? My sister Kim Kin is in my bed. She wakes up cheerfully. Good morning, How. He awkwardly replies, good morning. Why are you sleeping in my bed? She explains, I came to check if you were asleep and ended up sleeping beside you. He brushes it off. Oh, okay. I'm going to take a shower. See you. She stops him. There's no rush. I'll buy a new car to take you to school. On the way to school, Jang Hao thinks about the Muay Thai club. Yuva surprises him from behind, saying she'd been practicing for a long time. He asks, you know how to fight? When did you learn it? She explains that she's been training since childhood because her grandmother was a soldier. This inspires him and he asks, why don't you teach me some fighting skills? She agrees and they head to a warehouse behind the playground. As they prepare to spar, Jang Hao is taken aback by her speed. Are you ready? She asks, and before he can respond, she's already in his face. He hesitates and she suddenly hugs him, declaring, you've lost? How? Surrender. Then she demands a reward, startling him as she starts to lick his ear. He reacts, confused by the mixture of shyness and assertiveness she displays. This is tempting, he thinks, unable to control his body's reaction. Embarrassed, he asks her, why did you do this all of a sudden? Did someone teach you? She innocently replies, no, I just watched some videos Yuan once sent me. Alarmed, he asks to see the videos. She hands him her phone, explaining, videos show that this is how men and women should communicate. Jang Hao was horrified, thinking, what the hell is this? Why is there FBI content on her phone? She looks confused, asking, did I do anything wrong? He sighs, no, it's just that this isn't the way men and women should communicate, at least not with everyone. Don't listen to Yuan about these things in the future, alright? Just ask me first. She then asks, can we communicate like this? He awkwardly responds, just don't kiss me casually in the future, and don't do that to others, alright? Let's just go back to the classroom. As they walk back, she asks, is it only boyfriend and girlfriend who can do those things? Can it be that? He hesitates. Do you know what that means? She innocently responds, no. Jang Hao responds, we'll talk about it when you understand. Sometime later, as he's walking in school with Long, US suddenly appears. Can we communicate now? She asks persistently. He replies, no, later. She insists, can we communicate now? He repeats, no, not now. The same guy is watching him through the window, muttering, why? This guy is terrible. Just then, an officer lady approaches Jang Hao and says, I finally got you. It's the office lady from Mr. Wei. Jang Hao, confused, asks, come on, what's the matter? She apologizes for the last time and informs him that Mr. Wei wants to see him again. Jang Hao firmly states, I told her I have nothing to do with her. I will refuse. Don't waste everyone's time. Stuttering, The secretary explains, Zheng Hao, I'm just following orders. It would be hard for me to return without any answer. At least talk with her through my phone. He's frustrated, thinking, damn this girl again. She's richer, more powerful, and stronger than me. This is not going to go well. Reluctantly, he agrees, okay, call her. I'll explain things. He picks up the phone and says, hello, it's Zheng Hao. Your secretary told me to call you. But Mr. Wei, my thoughts are the same as before. Nothing has changed. I know your time is precious, so don't waste it on me. Mr. Wei responds, Zheng Hao, do you want to be as powerful as a woman? I know you hate to look weak. I saw it last time we fought. I not only cultivate stars, I can give you more time to think about it. Then she hangs up. Zheng Hao thinks this woman really knows what I want. I don't know if it's the best decision, but I'll have to find some time to meet her again. Back at Mr. Wei's office, she muses, so he hates being thought of as a weak man. The next day, Zheng Hao arrives at school in a supercar. His sister, who drove him, fixes his hair before he heads inside. As he walks through the school, everyone is talking about him. They seem to be checking their phones, discussing a rumor that he's some sort of POF worker or Instagram thought. Long Long notices and asks, do you feel something is wrong? Zheng Hao sighs, yeah, I found out. It's been like this since yesterday. Everyone is clearly avoiding us, but we don't know what happened. A guy with green hair approaches and sarcastically asks for his homework. Are you so busy every night that you don't have time to write? I know you're just planning to live off your looks, right? So it doesn't matter if you don't go to college. Zheng Hao hands over his homework, retorting, jealous of my handsome face. Just say it, brother. The guy scoffs, are you crazy? You're being nurtured by so many girls every night. I don't want to be like that. Zheng Hao, puzzled, asks, nurtured? That's a new one. The green-haired guy smirks, yeah, everyone knows you've been entangled with girls several times at the school gate. Some girl even brought you here in a supercar. Everyone saw it. Long Long, frustrated, shouts, what are you talking about? You're just spreading rumors about Zheng Hao. But then he looks at his phone and sees the post, look, there's our boy with his sister. Long Long exclaims, brother Zheng, everyone's calling you out as the guy older girls can take a free ride with. Zheng Hao's face is a mix of shock and disbelief. What the hell? Just then, the teacher knocks on the door and says, Zheng Hao, come with me to the office. In the office, she addresses him, Zheng Hao, do you know what's been happening on the school forum recently? He nods, yeah, I just found out. She continues, this type of incident has a very bad influence on the school. You need to be more careful. In this society, Zheng Hao interrupts, hey, stop. Teacher, there's no such thing. It was just my sister who brought me to school. If you don't believe me, I can call her. Moreover, this post on the forum is definitely slanderous, so I hope you can strictly investigate it. Sometime later, Zheng Hao's sister arrives at the school, causing a stir among the students. They overhear her conversation with the teacher and quickly realize that she is indeed his sister, confirming the scandal is nonsense. The students conclude that the forum post was pure nonsense. His sister apologizes for the fuss she caused, but Zheng Hao reassures her, saying it's fine and she can return to work. Back in the classroom, Yuan Wang declares I knew Hao Hao wasn't the type of person they made him out to be. Long Long and I were investigating and were sure it was Li Feng and his gang who spread the rumors. Zheng Hao asks where Long Long is and Yuan Wang replies he's searching for them alone. However, Long Long has not returned. Meanwhile, in men's bathroom, Long Long is found on the floor, shivering and distressed. It's so cold. Liu Feng and the others are such big bastards. When I get out, I must tell the teacher, he mutters through tears. Zheng Hao, Yuha, and Yuan search the school for him. Eventually, Yue informs them that some classmates from Class 3 saw Long Long near a bathroom. With a sense of urgency, they rush to the location and find the door locked. From inside, Long Long cries out, please, I'm so afraid. Zheng Hao instructs Yuha to kick the door, which she does, breaking it down easily. Zheng Hao rushes to Long Long, who tearfully recounts, and not only did they lock me up, they poured milk on me. We must tell the teacher. Zheng Hao, determined, says, don't go to the teacher. I will avenge you. Later, Zheng Hao confronts Liu Feng, who is visibly scared. Liu Feng tries to deflect, saying, be careful. I will tell the teacher. All right, you'll get expelled. But Zheng Hao retorts, you should worry about yourself. My sister came to the school today to clarify the rumors in the forum post. We'd also know what you did to Long Long. It seems like you didn't realize there are surveillance cameras behind the playground. He presents Liu Feng with an ultimatum. Now you have two options. First, you tell everyone that the post was a lie. Or second, tomorrow I go to the teacher and tell her everything. Realizing there's no escape, Liu Feng reluctantly apologizes for making the video. Zheng Hao warns him, if you keep being arrogant like this, I'm going to make sure you're dealt with. Afterward, Long Long asks, how? Do you really think he's not going to try anything? Zheng Hao confidently replies he's a senior in high school. If I hand over this video to the teacher, he'll at least get a major demerit. But it's getting late. Let's go home. As they walk, Zheng Hao asks Yuha, have you heard of Wai Nan? She replies, Wai Nan is the current head of the Wai family and is a very powerful person. He then inquires about the comparison between Wai Man's family and hers, considering her mother is the mayor of the city. Yuha responds, they're on equal footing. Zheng Hao ponders, as powerful as the mayor of the city? This won't be simple to deal with. Meanwhile, at her home, Wei Nan is troubled. It's been 3 days since the last call, and she finds herself thinking about Zheng Hao. As she reflects, someone knocks on her door, informing her that some people are calling her for dinner to discuss negotiations about some lands. She instructs her secretary, prepare the car. The scene shifts to Zheng Hao and his sister dining out. He remarks, "Yo, sister, isn't this place super luxurious?" She smiles and explains it's a treat for what happened today at school. Zheng Hao expresses his gratitude. "All right, thank you, Sister Kin." "Oh, damn," Zheng Hao thinks as he looks around the luxurious restaurant. His sister reassures him, "Let's go." Once inside, she tells him he can order whatever he wants. He cheekily asks for a drink, asserting he's an adult, but she knows better. "I don't think you are, brother," she teases. Despite this, she relents, "It's fine if you want to be reckless. Besides, our parents aren't coming home tonight." Feeling a bit rebellious, Zheng Hao indulges. One drink in and he's already reminiscing about his old days with the boys, with his sister watching him intently. He's visibly tough but softens under her gaze. After a while, he starts feeling dizzy and admits, "Am I drunk? No, I'm fine. Maybe I just drank too fast. I'll go to the bathroom." On the way, he reflects on his past tolerance for alcohol. However, in his disoriented state, he accidentally heads to the women's bathroom. As he washes his face, he hears a voice, "Hello?" Startled, he looks up and realizes he's in the wrong restroom, encountering a woman in fishnets. "What the hell are you doing in the men's room?" he blurts out. She calmly corrects him, "This is the women's restroom." Panicking, he notices other women entering from both sides, trapping him. Feeling like a sheep among wolves, he's cornered. Suddenly, he's pulled into a stall by Wei Nan. She smirks. "You want to hide from me? But why should I hide with you?" He stammers, "Oh no, I accidentally dragged her in." Wei Nan, enjoying the situation, grabs his hand while people outside remark on the commotion. "Why are you crazy, girl?" he exclaims, trying to maintain composure. She leans in, "Don't you understand? You're a defenseless little man who should panic." He retorts, "A little man? Why didn't you call me?" Looking her in the eye, he says, "I was planning to meet with you tomorrow. It was by chance we met tonight." She grabs his chin, determined, "No, I've changed my mind. I don't need you to sign anything as long as you're my man." He responds, "Do you got some bossy syndrome? We've only met twice, right? The last person who refused me disappeared." She replies, "You mean Liu Xin? She was suspected of illegal transactions and was imprisoned by my people." Alarmed, he asks, "What do you mean by your people? Are you above the law?" She coldly replies, "You love to worry about other things, don't you?" Desperate to escape, he tries to tickle her armpits. Seizing the opportunity, he escapes, thinking, to be honest, she felt pretty good. Outside the bathroom, he finds his sister, who asks, "Why were you in there so long? Are you uncomfortable?" He lies, "I'm fine, just a bit too drunk." She gently guides him, "Let's go home and rest." At home, Zheng Hao, drunk and exhausted, collapses on the bed. His sister tenderly brings him soup and juice, strokes his hair, and whispers, "He's so cute, just one kiss." She leans in, thinking, "We will be together sooner or later." She gets on top of him, caressing his hair and planting soft kisses on his neck. He stirs awake, confused. Is this a dream? Her face, filled with longing, suggests otherwise. Overwhelmed, he flips her over, battling the demons in his mind. The temptation of the moment battles with his moral compass. In a moment of restraint, he kisses her forehead and steps back. His sister, surprised, asks, How are you asleep?" Before anything else can happen, she notices a call on his phone from Zhao Yun, the girl from the cafeteria who had shown interest in him. She answers on his sister. "You're Zhao Yun?" "Right." Zhao Yun, surprised, responds, "Hello, sister. I'm Hao's friend." Zheng Hao's sister abruptly ends the call of Zhao Yun, cutting her off. "I know you've been chasing him for 2 years. I have something to tell you. Forget about falling in love in high school. I hope you give up on this and stop imposing on him. Goodbye," she says before hanging up. She looks at Zheng Hao, thinking, asterisk, "You belong to your sister alone, and it doesn't matter. I will definitely take my time and control myself, but eventually." The next day, Zheng Hao wakes up with a hangover and notices something unusual on his neck. He recalls the dinner and wonders if the strange dream he had about his sister wasn't just a dream. As he examines the marks in the mirror, his sister enters. "Hey, Hao, you're awake," she says. He stammers, unsure what to say, while internally panicking. Could it be that the dream last night with my sister wasn't a dream? She inspects his neck and comments, Hao, it seems you're allergic to alcohol." He asks, "Allergic to what?" She steps closer, saying, "Let me see if this is serious." "I'm a doctor." She confirms, "It's an alcohol allergy. It's not serious, but be careful." He hesitantly agrees, "Okay." She reassures him, "I'm a professional, relax. Now let's have breakfast." But inside, Zheng Hao remains skeptical. Alcohol allergy? Maybe. At school, Long notices Zheng Hao wearing a turtleneck and jokes, "Why are you wearing a turtleneck? Listening to too much Drake?" Zheng Hao deflects, "No, I'm just cold." Of course, he's hiding the marks. Suddenly, someone grabs Zheng Hao by the collar, demanding, "Your name is Zheng Hao, right?" Without hesitation, Zheng Hao uses a martial arts technique to throw the aggressor to the ground, dislocating his shoulder. The guy cries out, "Oh no, he's stronger than the average woman." Another student, Ling Zongzong, approaches and remarks, "No wonder you're the man that Zhao Yun loves. I'm Ling Zongzong. Nice to meet you." Zheng Hao, uninterested, brushes him off. "Hello, hello. I'm not in the mood, so take care. If you want Zhao Yun, go talk to her yourself." Ling Zongzong is left staring as Zheng Hao walks away. Later, Yue asks Zheng Hao if the guy was being aggressive towards him and offers to beat him up. Zheng Hao declines. "It's better not to escalate things." "No need, classmate Yuha. Just keep teaching me how to fight. Besides that, I'm on a journey of self-improvement." Long Long, curious, asks, "Are you guys practicing boxing? What are you doing after school?" Zheng Hao invites him, "Come practice with us after school today. You need to at least protect yourself." Long Long protests, "No, I don't need to. I'm a little lady." They all laugh. The scene shifts to a pool where Wei Nan is relaxing. She picks up a towel and thinks, "That little man Zheng Hao really annoys me. But every time I close my eyes, I see him." She instructs her assistant, "After Zheng Hao finishes school, bring him to the villa for me." She seems determined. Back at the school warehouse, Zheng Hao announces that today's workout will focus on the core. "I want to have 8-pack abs as soon as possible," he declares. Yuan responds, "You mean like this?" She lifts her shirt to reveal her well-defined abs. Zheng Hao is shocked. "You have abs? That's crazy. You can't help but touch," saying, "You're so thin. I didn't expect this." Yuha blushes, clearly shy, but not resisting. Long Long, suspicious, pulls out a magnifier and quips, "There's something wrong with you too. You're touching her, and she's not resisting." Zheng Hao, curious, asks Yuha, "Why don't you reject this?" She simply responds, "If you want, I'll show it." Long Long finds the situation strange. "Everything you ask, she does." Zheng Hao, testing her boundaries, asks, "Hey, how much money do you have with you now? Give it to me." Long Long, surprised by the bluntness, comments, "That's a bit rough." But Yulia, without hesitation, reaches into her pockets and says, "I didn't bring too much money today. The rest is in my phone. The payment password is," quickly interjects, "No, that's not necessary." Zheng Hao steps closer to Yuha and asks, "Why do you do anything I say?" She replies, "We are friends and friends can't say no." He is taken aback, thinking that perhaps due to her family background, she has a skewed understanding of friendship. Remembering the things she mentioned at her home, he becomes serious and tells her, "Yuda, friendship isn't like this. In a relationship, you have to be equals. In the future, you need to make firm decisions about what you want to do and what you don't. If you don't want to do something, you should never feel obliged to do it." She seems confused but responds, okay." The training session ends early and Zheng Hao heads home, feeling positive about the session. However, he notices a suspicious figure in the alley and suddenly realizes the streets are eerily empty. A sense of dread washes over him, prompting him to change direction. Just then, a little girl approaches him offering rice candy. "Hey little brother, do you want some rice candy?" she asks. Suspicious, he inquires, "Why are you here all alone?" The girl responds, "I'm doing some social practice to spread happiness to strangers. My teacher asked me to give away this bag of candies. Otherwise, I won't get my little red flower." Zheng Hao, assuming she's an elementary school student, takes a candy and advises her, "All right, I'll eat it, but you should head home. It's getting late and it's not safe outside." As he eats the candy, he notices it smells strange like smoke. Suddenly, he starts feeling dizzy and loses consciousness. When he awakens, he's tied to a bed, his hands and feet bound. What is this? Where am I? What are they trying to do to me? And why are there so many mirrors? The little girl, now revealed as an adult, says, "Mr. Wei, he's awake." Zheng Hao recognizes her, exclaiming, "You kidnapped me. And why is an elementary school girl smoking?" She removes her disguise, revealing her true age. "Brother, I'm 30 years old. I just look young." Zheng Hao is even more shocked. That's even worse. Wei Nan instructs everyone to leave, alone with Zheng Hao. She approaches him, "Be quiet and don't bother me because I'm working." Bewildered, he retorts, "You tie me up and expect me not to disturb you. Do you have some kind of domineering syndrome?" She stops writing, walks closer, and confronts him. "Last time you dared to run away, and now you're insulting me again. Always disobeying, did you think I wouldn't do anything?" Zheng Hao, desperate, asks, "So why did you tie me up? Do you have no interest in me at all?" She remains silent, so he continues, "I've done my homework on you, Wei Nan. You're the president of the Feng Hong group and currently the head of the Wei family. This family used to be involved in a lot of shady business. But under your leadership, you've cleaned up your act, making Feng Hong Group one of the biggest in the country. But there's a lot of blood in this history. People in this world even look up to you as a national goddess. Why would someone like you fall in love with me? Do you think I believe that?" Wei Nan listens intently as he goes on. "And you want to use me as a star for your business? To be honest, I have no idea what you're planning and I don't want to know. I just want to live a quiet, ordinary life. I don't want anything to do with you, so please let me go. Thank you." Wei Nan stays silent, her expression unreadable, before finally speaking, "Really? You're not Zheng Hao at all." Shocked, Zheng Hao asks, "What do you mean?" She continues, "Probably since the day you stopped being Zheng Hao. After being released, you changed." Bewildered, he demands, "What do you mean by that? If I'm not Zheng Hao, who am I?" Calmly replies, "There have been too many changes in you before and after. I've done my research. You know what you were like before. You were raised by your father alone and received a very traditional education. At school, because of your good looks and academic performance, you were the dream of many girls. That's what people used to say about you, gentle, cute, and considerate. But now, everyone thinks you're a tough guy, right? You've completely changed. Yahello thought to himself, damn, I got careless. I didn't expect someone to figure me out because I crossed over. I was still trying to adapt to this world and hadn't had time to understand this body's past. But how did she conclude that I'm not Yahello based on just those materials? White Man continued, another point is that you weren't excited enough when I appeared in front of you. He was confused. What? Just because you're famous? She clarified, no, because you were my fan. She showed him old posts on social media, and he saw, oh my god, why is there such a perfect woman as White Man in the world? And someone wants to exchange some photos of White Nan. Another post read, I need to study hard and become a man worthy of White Nan. Yahello was stunned. Asteriski didn't know the guy in this body worshipped her once a day. She sat beside him, noting, but now it seems like you have no impression of being my fan these days. Don't even try to tell me you have split personality or amnesia. Humans are creatures that need to learn. I noticed that as a gaming streamer, you got into the top 100 in just a month. Your game account showed no prior experience. Also, you, who never fought before, can now face a head-on confrontation with a gangster leader. So I'm 100% sure this isn't split personality, it's a real change of soul. He responded, that's crazy. No normal person would think that way. But even if I changed my soul, what do you want to do? She just stared at him before dropping the bomb. My team is studying the blood moon. He recalled the girl and asked, why are you so sure? She replied, according to our previous research, the personality change in you happened just a few days after the blood moon. I think you're related to it. She continued, as long as you're willing to assist with our investigation, I'll tell you why. He hesitated. I don't know. She reassured him, don't be so nervous. I guarantee your safety, and I won't take any samples from you for experiments. The contract is there. You can earn money just by cooperating. Take it home and review it. He asked, who else is researching the blood moon besides you? She said, as far as I know, just me. He nodded, understood. I'll go back and take a good look. He hadn't expected anyone else in this world to know about the blood moon. He decided it was best to proceed cautiously. As he prepared to leave, he said, I have nothing else to do here. It's late, and I need to see my family. She warned, I hope this time you won't make me wait too long. As he turned to leave, she suddenly spun him against the wall. Hey, what are you doing? He exclaimed. She smiled. This is the price for attacking me last time. She pinned him down and spanked him repeatedly, much to his embarrassment. Damn this domineering female president. To be held down by a woman and spanked. I'll remember this humiliation. When he got home, his sister ran to him and hugged him. Oh, you're finally back. I was so worried about you. He apologized. I'm sorry, sister. I made you worry. Where are dad and auntie? She replied, they're already in their room. But where did you go? Why did you come back so late? He lied. I went shopping for a while and lost track of time. He then said he was going to shower because he was sweaty. But she stopped him, grabbing his wrist. Did Yahello go shopping with a girl? Because I smell a little perfume, she questioned, clearly upset. He quickly denied it. No, I was alone. Does it smell like a woman? Internally, he thought, damn it, why is her scent so strong? Maybe there were too many people in the line I was in, and that's how it happened. She grabs him by the cheeks. You have to pay attention in the future. Be careful or others will take advantage of you. He's flustered. Oh, okay, thank you. Then she tells him, go take a shower quickly, okay? Change your clothes and I'll wash them for you. The scene shifts to President White Nan receiving her secretary. White Nan hands her a paper with Zhang Kin's picture and instructs, go investigate this girl further. The secretary looks at it. Zhang Kin? That's Zhang Ho's stepsister. White Nan nods. Yes, look into all her past. I think the timing of her becoming his stepsister is too strange. Meanwhile, Zhang Ho's sister is burning his clothes, muttering, Ho doesn't need something that smells like another woman. As Zhang Hao exits the shower, he notices her taking something out of the fridge. There are so many good things inside that big compartment. She asks, finish washing. What would Hao like to drink? He replies, just some cold milk is fine, while thinking about her good figure. She invites him to her room so she can dry his hair. He wonders why in her room, but then he notices a message on her screen from a guy saying, Sister, I fell in love with you the first time I saw you. Can you give me a chance? I'm willing to give my first time to you. He's shocked. What the hell is this? He apologizes. Sorry, sister. I saw it by accident. She dismisses it. It's fine. Just tell him that I have a boyfriend. Annoyed, he says, Sister, you shouldn't bother with guys like this. He's not good if he's using these types of messages. She smiles, clearly having planned this, and hands him her phone. I'm so happy you care so much about your sister. I'm going to take a shower, so block this guy for me, okay? He agrees, all right. But as he starts to dig through her messages, he finds a group chat called Angel with him, exclusive to her and her friends. He's puzzled. Why does my sister have a group like this with her friends? His mind begins to spiral. Back at school, he can't stop thinking about his sister. He recalls that last time he tried to make a move, she didn't seem to resist. That's when someone interrupts his thoughts. Hi. He looks up to see the pink-haired guy again. Zhang Hao, I heard you're also live streaming. Let's compete to see who gets more yachts. The guy challenges. Zheng Hao declines. I'm not interested, sorry. The guy presses. Why? You don't want to? Zheng Hao retorts, unlike you, I'm not interested in making money by gathering attention from random girls. If you're excited about it, do it alone. The guy, angered, stammers. Zheng Hao cuts him off. Hey, if you have a stutter problem, go to the infirmary. The guy, fuming, retorts, today, no matter what, you'll lose. Long jumps in. He's not afraid of you. He's way more popular. The pink-haired guy sneers. We'll see tonight. Later that night, Zheng Hao prepares to stream some games. He's not wearing a mask anymore. As he plays, he racks up victories, achieving double kills, quadra kills, and MVPs. The girls in the chat swoon, oh my god, accept me on my knees. No matter how much I look at his face, he just looks like male perfection. I want to suck it up. Amid the praise, he suddenly receives 990 yachts. Of course, from Nan. He exclaims, oh, it's her. Zheng Hao thought, as always, she's fire. He then remembered the contract he hadn't signed yet, mainly because it stated he would have to move out of his family home. Even though the contract promised a lot of money, he couldn't accept that condition. But he understood the message Nan was sending with those 990 yachts. He decided he would return the money to her. Meanwhile, the guy who made the bet with him was also streaming and angrily ended his stream. Oh, my stomach is hurting. I have to end this here today. Clearly frustrated, he muttered, Zheng Hao, you're a bloody bee. You pretend to be innocent, but I know the type of guy you are. He then called someone. Hello, it's me and I need your help with something. Don't worry about the money. Zheng Hao, I will ruin your reputation for sure. The next day, Zheng Hao was walking through the city, thinking about how Sister Qin wanted to buy some lilies. On the other side of the road, two people were talking. The girl said, Yo, Sister Mu, this is the Zheng Hao that guy wants to punish. The girl on the left responded, he's not bad looking, but why do I feel he's familiar? She then recognized him. This is the guy Mr. Wee likes. Quick, call her. The secretary approached Nan and reported, I have something important to report about Zheng Hao. Nan asked, what? The secretary explained, someone under my staff informed me that a streamer asked one of my subordinates to take nude photos of Zheng Hao. Nan coldly replied, terminate the contract with the guy. The rest is up to you. Now go. Back at home, Zheng Hao was contemplating the value of the 990 yachts, wondering how Nan could afford so much. That's when he received a call from Nan. However, his sister walked in and asked, who are you talking to, Hao? He quickly lied, oh, it's just a girl who sells insurance. But he knew he was in big trouble now. He hung up the call, and Nan was not happy. She shouted, get me a car right now. In his room, Zheng Hao thought it was rude to hang up on her. I need to discuss how to return the money from the yachts. Suddenly, she called again. Come out of your house alone right now, or I will send someone to arrest you. Shocked, he responded, are you going to break into my private house? What are you doing? Then he heard a car horn outside his window. When he looked outside, he saw a dozen cars. Hey, are you serious? I'll call the police. She calmly replied, go ahead and see if it's illegal to park on the side of the road. He conceded, okay, fine. I'll come out, but tell everyone to leave. He told his sister, I'm going to the convenience store to buy something, okay? She offered to accompany him, but he insisted, no need. I'll be back fast. Outside, he called, Nan, I'm out, so hang up. She asked him, besides me, who else have you offended? Because someone has been watching you. Walking through the city, she guided him, keep going. 30 meters in front, turn right into the dark corner. The person might have a weapon, so be careful. Nervously, he replied, do you think this is a good plan? If the person really has a weapon, this could be dangerous. She reassured him, don't be afraid. I'm close by. Just lure him, and I'll help you deal with him. As Zheng Hao waited in the alley, he thought, hurry up. Suddenly, a masked individual appeared. Hey, who are you? Zheng Hao asked. The masked person seemed unhinged, glaring at him before charging. Dodged the first punch, then another. The masked attacker taunted, damn like a rat. Zheng Hao realized the person was dangerous but not very fast. As the attacker went for another punch, Zheng Hao sidestepped and executed a leg sweep, causing the attacker to fall. He quickly got on top of the masked person, demanding, who are you? Why are you attacking me? The attacker, now revealed to be a woman, angrily replied, it's all because of you. Otherwise, how could I have ended up in such a situation? Zheng Hao, still reeling from the events, questioned, what are you saying? Take off the mask and speak. He tried to remove the mask, but she hit him with an acrobatic elbow. The hell is this? He was disoriented and fell to the floor. The masked person stood over him, pulling out a weapon. Just as they were about to strike, a punch came out of nowhere. Man had arrived and intervened, saying, I thought you had fled to another province, but you came here to cause trouble for him. Oh, it's you, Zheng Hao realized, seeing Liu Xin. He demanded, just because I refuse you, you want to take my life? She retorted, blaming him for seducing Nan and accusing him of becoming a slut when seeing a rich woman. Zheng Hao snapped back, you're the slut. Man interrupted, enough. Imprisoning, you've had nothing to do with Zheng Hao. It was because you went too far using the Feng Hong name to bully and extort protection fees from everywhere. As she tied up her hair, she declared, my man can't tolerate a scum like you. You must be dealt with by me. Angry, Liu Xin shouted, What are you? A rich lady who grew up with a silver spoon? No one agree. She lunged for a punch, but White Man countered, I may not understand your situation, but that doesn't excuse bullying. With that, she landed a punch on Liu Xin's face, knocking her to the floor. Zhen Hao stood in shock. Sometime later, with the situation resolved, Zhen Hao apologized. Sorry, please send me back now. My sister will worry. Wei Nan stared at him and reminded him, do you forget why I came to see you? He was confused. Why did you come to see me? Was it because of the contract? She clarified the contract was one reason. The main reason was to warn you that someone is planning to secretly take compromising photos of you. He was bewildered. Why would anyone want to do something so stupid? Wei Nan, seemingly annoyed, retorted, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you hung up on me before I could explain. Do you not want to talk to me? He was speechless, apologizing. Sorry, I was wrong to hang up. I apologize. She asked with a mischievous look, so are you willing to accept punishment? He was taken aback. Punishment? What punishment? Suddenly, she kissed him. Call the police? He wrestled with his thoughts, considering pushing her away, but her soft lips made it difficult. He began to reciprocate, but suddenly remembered his sister and pushed Wei Nan away. Ms. Wei, why are you doing this? Why are you playing games with me? I'm a high school student and you just took my first kiss. She questioned, are you sure you're a high school student? She pondered internally, realizing this was his first kiss. He continued, that's not the point. You helped me tonight, but you took advantage of me. Also, those donations you sent me, I want to return them. She laughed, that's just a little money. Who do you think I am? What I don't understand is, do you want to get rid of me? Why don't you want to sign the contract? He hesitated. I can't sign it right now. She demanded, give me a reason. But he said, I can't explain right now. I'm too tired. Let's go back. As they parted ways, Wei Nan thought, Zhen Hao, I, Wei Nan, have never failed at something I set my mind to. Sometime later, back at home, Zhen Hao lay in bed, reflecting, why did I think of my sister when I was with Wei Nan? Maybe I really like her. No, Zhen Hao, wake up. She's your sister. Forget about it. The next day at school, Yua greeted him. He responded, good morning, and thought to himself, after a day with the president, being with Yua feels so much easier. He notices her legs and realizes that for the first time, she's wearing black stockings instead of white. She asks, Zhen Hao, are you okay? He responds, yes, I have a gift for you. He hands her an AK-47 pendant and says, thank you for always teaching me martial arts. Wasn't this the gun you said you liked the most at your house? She takes the pendant and thanks him, saying she will cherish it very much. He replies, as long as you like it, it's fine. Internally, he thinks, why does just a change of socks make me feel something different? Later, during lunch break, they are eating together. He asks her, why are you staring at your own legs? She replies, because you were staring at them the whole day. Do you like my legs? He admits, I like them. It was so obvious. Your legs are really beautiful. She seems shy but then moves closer, saying, Zhen Hao, you could touch them if you want. Surprised, he thinks such a well-behaved girl asking me to touch her legs, there's no reason to refuse. But then he realizes just touching her legs seems a bit wrong. He suggests, how about this? Would you resist if I let you sit on my lap right now? She stands and sits on his lap without hesitation. He feels happy and thinks, oh, she's so obedient. She's like a treasure in this feminist world. He tells her, if I only had an obedient sister like you. Realizing how odd that sounds, he questions himself, why do I want an obedient sister? That's strange. He asks her, are you not disgusted at all? She replies, a little, but I also feel very comfortable. No one has hugged me like this before. He thinks she might just really crave love and affection, likely due to her family situation. Noticing the keychain he gave her hanging from her wrist like a bracelet, he asks, did you hang it up like a bracelet? She tells him that it's the first time she's received a gift from a friend, so she wanted to keep it really close. He's shocked and asks, the first gift? No one has ever given you a gift before? She explains that her previous friends only asked her for money and never gave her gifts. He tells her, those aren't real friends. Don't bother with them in the future. He then asks, but Yuan didn't ask you for money, did she? She replies, no, the only thing she does is give me strange books and movies. But since you told me not to listen to them, I didn't look around. He's thinking, Yuan, do you really think the FBI isn't out there? He then tells her to put the keychain in her bag and promises to buy her a bracelet instead. Back in class, he's relaxing at his desk when he notices something pixelated on the floor. Curious, he reaches for it, but someone else grabs it and shouts, Zhen Hao, how could you bring this type of thing to school? Confused, he asks, what are you talking about? The guy continues to shout, this school is getting ruined by you. Everyone around is stunned, thinking, damn, did he actually bring that kind of thing to school? Some girls, however, don't believe it, thinking Zhen Hao isn't that kind of person. Staying calm, Zhen Hao stands up and says, look at my drawer. There's a bunch of things other people have stuffed in. It's the same with that thing in your hands. Don't even think about putting all this on me. If you keep making trouble, I will put this thing in your mouth. The guy leaves and everyone gathers around Zhen Hao. Long comments, brother, that guy's a pervert for sure, putting that type of thing in your drawer. The girls seem to believe Zhen Hao and he reassures them. It's fine, it's not a big problem. Outside, the guy seems to be scheming something else. The next day, Zhenhao continues to find similar items in his drawer. He mutters, "What the hell? It's endless." Frustrated, he throws the items in the trash and kicks the trash can, exclaiming, "God damn it," every single day. The scene shifts to Zhenhao and Wang exercising. Wang tells him, "Brother, I've heard some boys talking about you again the past 2 days. They're saying you're bringing, stuff every day." Zhenhao, unbothered, replies, "I don't know who it is, but it's been 4 days. They're spending a lot of money just to slander me." Wang asks, "What are we going to do?" He tells him, "Don't panic. I will find a way to catch him." Next scene, he's talking to Yuha and whispers something we can't hear. She nods and says, "Okay, I'll get it, and we can set it up after school." Later that day, they install something in his drawer. Long says, "Now we're going to catch this pervert." The next morning, someone sneaks into the classroom before everyone else. As they approach Zhenhao's drawer, a laser activates, beep beep, a picture is taken. Zhenhao catches the culprit red-handed and mocks, "Yo, night and day, and you're still working hard, aren't you? But brother, this costs us a lot of money to prepare, so let's not waste it," and throws the evidence in his face. The guy grabs it and asks, "How did you find out?" Zhenhao replies, "I didn't catch anything. I just installed an anti-theft system. Now let's see you at the office." But the guy shouts, "Don't let him go." Suddenly, other guys and even girls show up. He tells the girls, "Bring him to the toilet first." The girl rushes at Zhenhao, but he dodges one of her punches and delivers another. Then someone comes in and tries to kick him, but he blocks it. Suddenly, Yua shows up looking angry. The guy shouts at her not to get involved. Zhenhao, shocked, watches as she jumps and knees the attacker in the nose, knocking him to the floor. She steps on him and blood spurts out. She's just staring at the guy, who is already trembling, and she begins strangling him. The guy begs her to stop, but she coldly replies, "I'm going to kill you." Zhenhao shouts at her to stop, saying, "I'm fine. If you keep going, things will get serious." With 3 people already on the floor, the teacher arrives, asking Zhenhao and Yuha, "What are you doing?" Zhenhao thinks, "Damn, the teacher." The next scene shows the school making an announcement. Ling Zongzong, a student from Senior 2 Class 4, is expelled for bringing prohibited items to school with the intent to slander Zhenhao. Looking through the window, Long asks, "Do you think she's okay?" Zhenhao replies, "I don't know, but considering her family, this is not going to be easy for her." Later, he runs home. His dad asks, "Why didn't you call? I could have picked you up." Zhenhao grabs a towel and says he's fine, then heads to his bedroom. He picks up his phone and calls Yuha, who answers with a crying voice. He asks, "What's wrong? Why are you crying?" She explains that after she got home, her mother locked her in the warehouse and it's too dark and scary there. Shocked, he asks, "Warehouse? What the hell?" Yuha explains that whenever she makes a mistake, her mother sends her there. Feeling bad for her, Zhenhao says, "Do you want to talk about something? I can talk with you." They talk until she falls asleep. The next day, he wakes up with a headache and realizes he caught a cold. Just then, Sister Kin shows up, explaining that she was going to wake him for breakfast but noticed he had a fever. She insists he take medicine, but he feels weak all over and thinks, "And why is my body so weak? Just a little rain did this to me." She smiles and asks, "Can your sister feed you?" He's flustered but says, "No, we're siblings." She backs off, seemingly confused. He thinks she might have noticed something but quickly dismisses the thought. She asks, "What's wrong? How? Isn't your body so weak? I can help you." He has some hallucinations but brushes them off and takes the medicine himself. She wonders why he seems resistant and asks, did he actually notice something? She brings him soup, and he's touched, thinking it's normal for a sister to care so much about her brother, especially since they're not blood related. He asks Sister Kin, "Why are you so kind to me?" She pauses before replying, "Because I'm willing to take care of you for the rest of my life." Zhenhao is shy, thinking this sounds like a marriage proposal. What's she saying? He quickly takes the bowl from her and says he can eat by himself. Watching her, he thinks sister always seems so calm. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe she's just a caring sister-in-law. After eating, he goes back to sleep and she stays by his side. He feels a sense of peace with her presence. When he falls asleep, she seems happy, thinking if this was before, this would be impossible. But I really want to know, do you hate your sister? The scene changes to Mr. Wei, who is thinking about Zhenhao. She can't get him out of her mind. "I actually forcibly kissed him because he was so cute," she says. She likes his self-confidence and finds him the most unique guy she has ever met. Then she stops and thinks, "Why, Nan, aren't you thinking too much about that little man?" Meanwhile, Zhenhao is sleeping while all these girls are thinking about him. His cell phone rings, waking him up. He answers, seeing that Wai Nan is preparing to talk with him. She's nervous. "It's me, Wai Nan," she says. He responds, "Mr. Wei, what's the matter? Does someone want to deal with me again?" She tells him, "I can't sleep." He's confused, and what? He gets up thinking, look at yourself, calling a high school student at 2 o'clock in the morning. "Do you want me to tell you a bedtime fairy tale or sing you a song?" She's angry. "Talk to me carefully." He retorts, "You want me to be polite when you call me in the middle of the night. What's your business with me?" She then asks, "Did you learn your fighting skills from your classmate Lin Yuha, right?" He says, "Are you investigating me again?" She smirks and tells him Lin Yuha is average. "Why did you come to me?" I can give you professional training. You have a good base. If you work hard, you can become a good bodyguard. He's baffled. What the hell? First, she wants me to become a star, and now she's asking me to become a bodyguard. God damn it. So he tells her, I'm just casually practicing with her. Don't call me again if you have nothing to say or I will change my number. She's taken aback but tries to continue. Wait, there's no one else around you right now. He says, no babe, and hangs up. That's it. He gets up preparing to start his day. He notices a note beside him. If you go to the bathroom, wear a jacket. He's touched thinking, damn, my sister really cares about me. Suddenly, his sister shows up. How are you awake? Can you help me choose some clothes? He turns to see her in a long outfit and was already bleeding. Don't come out like this, he thinks. If it weren't for my strong determination, I would have died by now of losing so much blood. He hastily chooses an outfit for her. As she turns around, he notices a tattoo on her ribs. The scene shifts to her leaving for work. She tells him to stay home and recover. Okay, sister, good work, he replies. He's contemplating, I need to go back to my old life, but I also need money. How can I make money faster? He recalls receiving a 50K bonus for reporting Liu Xing's actions and decides to follow up on it. At the police station, the guard informs him that he can't take the money yet. It might take a month if everything goes smoothly. He insists, I am an adult. Can't you just give me the cash directly? She apologizes, explaining that the conditions were set by Mr. Wei and you should go to the Feng Hong group to find her. Meanwhile, Wei Man receives a call informing her that Zhen Hao went to collect the money. She thinks, you hung up on me last night, but now you're going to have to talk with me. Zhen Hao, visibly unhappy, finds himself back in front of her. Jesus, I just finished talking with her last night and now I came here to ask for the money. This is embarrassing, he thinks. In the elevator, a guard notices him and comments, little brother, are you still a middle school student? And which school do you study at? You're so handsome. He responds awkwardly, wanting to get out of the situation as soon as possible. They arrive at the top floor and Zhen Hao says, oh, I'm going on. But the guard grabs his hand and says, I really like you, little brother. You may not believe in love at first sight, and I didn't either, but that changed when I saw you. I feel like I could never love another man again. As she speaks, someone stares at her. Can you give me a chance? She pleads. Wei Mian, the company president, is there glaring at the guard. Hi, President Wei, the guard says nervously. Wei Nan coldly orders, get out. You don't have to come to the company anymore. The guard falls to her knees, pleading, I'm sorry. What did I do wrong? Zhen Hao interjects she didn't do anything wrong. Why are you firing her? Wei Nan snaps, are you interceding for her? The girl, crying, insists, Mr. Wei, I work hard for the company and never make mistakes. Please don't fire me. Zhen Hao helps her up, saying, all girls have pride. It's not the end of the world to change jobs. She sobs, no, if the outside world knew I was rightfully fired by Mr. Wei, no one would dare hire me. Shocked, Zhen Hao watches as Wei Man grabs him by the wrist and pulls him close. How dare you flirt with other people in front of me, she hisses. He responds calmly, which eye of yours saw me flirting? I was just helping her up. Pushing her arm away, he adds, she was just showing me the way and I said a few words. It's unreasonable for you to fire her over this. White Nan demands, what were you talking about with her? He retorts, aren't you a bit nosy? It doesn't matter what I talked about. Annoyed, Wei Man glares at him. You really know how to make me angry, she says. As she stands, Zhen Hao notices her well-toned figure, a result of regular exercise. You can't help but stare. She smirks, you can keep her if you want. Let's play a little game. I'll throw a cigarette upwards. I'll use my left hand and you'll use your right. If you catch it before I do, she stays. Zhen Hao, confident in his reflexes, accepts. Wei Nan is impressed by his confidence. She tosses the cigarette and both of them reach for it. Zhen Hao catches it first. Yes, I won, he exclaims. But Wei Man doesn't stop and falls onto him. You won and I lost, she murmurs. He's flustered, thinking, is she just taking advantage of me? But he decides, forget it. I don't suffer anyway. She teases, you don't know how to be reserved, do you? Rolling up my skirt and touching my leg, with shame. He insists, I caught the cigarette so you can't fire her. Now please get up. You do this every time. I think you really like me. She admits, I don't know if I really like you or not, but you're the type of guy who attracts me the most. I've never met a man like you. Self-assured, brave, and responsible. He brushes off her praise, asking, just give me my 50,000, please. She agrees but says she needs to go to the bathroom first. Zhen Hao thinks she's overly happy and just stalling. He then receives a call from his sister, who scolds him for not staying home. He lies, saying he was helping along with his homework. She reminds him to come home soon and be careful. As he waits, Wei Nan returns from the bathroom in a different outfit. Zhen Hao, shocked by her beauty, thinks she's not only a boss, but also has beauty that rivals my sister. She notices him smoking and chides kids shouldn't smoke. Annoyed by her controlling nature, he explains, I just lit it to smell it, and asks, why did you change your clothes? Were you doing something in there? Wei Man confesses, I'm also a normal woman, so don't tempt me so casually in the future. I had to relax because I couldn't stand your temptation. Zhen Hao, exasperated, thinks, this perverted president? Forget it. It doesn't matter. I'm here to get my 50K. But she coolly replies, I don't think I need to give you your 50K. The market price for a cigarette is 60K, so now you owe me 10K. He shouts at her, hey, why are you lying to me? But she tells him, if you don't believe me, you can check it out. He's like, impossible, a cigarette that costs 60K. You want? She's looking cute while laughing at his confusion. He tells her, are you kidding me? But she just says, the price is real, but letting you pay is fake. Here, you can have your 50K. He looks at the money and says, even though you have a bad temper, you are a trustworthy person, so thank you. He adds, damn, but my behavior just now was a bit inappropriate. From now on, we should see each other less or not at all. This way, your work efficiency can return to 100%. Goodbye. She smirks and mutters to herself, I will get you. Back at his home, his sister and her friend are looking at some of his old photos. Her friend remarks, you have way too many photos of your brother, don't you? She's thinking, of course I have. This is my treasure, and in the future, I will have even more. That's when he arrives at home. Sister King, didn't you say you'd come back later? Why are you here so early? Oh, she's startled, worried he might see the album. Her friend almost says, we were seeing some pho, but Kin pinches her and gives her a look. Kin Hao asks, what's going on? She quickly covers, nothing, we were just reading some literature, that's it. Her friend's like, yeah, we were reading literature. Jen Hao, curious, asks, is that so? What literature? Can I see it? But Sister Chin quickly pretends to be sleepy and jumps on him. He asks her if she's okay. She replies, I am, but hey, how didn't I tell you to rest at home? Why did you go out again? He tries to brush it off, saying, I was just too bored. She tells him, don't you know that you have a face that could bring disaster to the country and its people? He's like, okay, I'll protect myself, sister. Now, I'm going back to my room. After he leaves, her friend asks, what are you doing? Why can't your brother see this album? She just stares at her friend and says, it doesn't matter. If you try to get involved in this, we will not be friends anymore. Her friend quickly responds, all right, I'm not going to ask about it. Back in his room, Jen Hao thinks, why is it that every time I'm with Wai Nan, I feel so tired? But then, looking through his window, he notices someone staring at his house. Could it be that I'm entangled with someone again? Who is that man? Dad and aunt are not at home. Should I tell my sister? He goes back downstairs where his sister's friend is gone. He asks, why did she leave so soon? She brushes it off, saying she had something to do. That's when he tells her, I was upstairs, and I saw a man outside the house who seemed to be sneaking around. I don't know what he's doing, but you should be careful, he says. She pats his head and says she's happy that he's worried about her, but assures him there's no need to worry. She already knows who the man outside is. He questions, I don't think so. She explains that it was the guy who sent her some pictures. He remembers, oh, so it's that weirdo. She smiles and says, you don't need to worry, as she throws herself at him and grabs him by the chin. What's wrong with you, How? You're blushing. He stammers, and nothing. I just feel like I don't need to ask for a leave tomorrow. I'll go to school. She doesn't seem pleased. Why are you in such a hurry to go back to school? Do you have a girlfriend there? He quickly responds, no, of course not. I wouldn't fall in love so early. She pulls him closer. Don't lie to your sister. Having a good-looking brother like you is a happy trouble, and I really want to keep you by my side, okay? He asks, what did you say? She quickly covers, nothing. I'll drive you to school tomorrow. The next morning, she drops him off at school. Long tells him that since the incident, Yuva has been alone all the time, with everyone staying away from her. They decide to talk to her. Good morning, Yuva. They greet her. She seems happy, and Jen Hao apologizes for involving her in the incident. But she just asks him, are you afraid of me? He pats her head and says, how could I be afraid of you if you're so obedient? With that, she looks happy. All the girls in the class comment that they wouldn't mind being isolated if they could get attention from the male god. It's time for lunch break, and they're together in their room. She opens her bento box, revealing a variety of dishes. Seeing that he's only eating some bread, she offers, do you want to eat mine? He's pleasantly surprised and says, hey, that's really nice. He grabs something to eat and she stares at his hands. Jen Hao, your hand, can I touch it? She asks. He chokes a bit and asks, why, suddenly? She explains that the girls in the class said that she's never kissed a boy or held a boy's hand and that she's wasting her good looks. They also said she's too naive and would never have the chance in her life. He reassures her, that's fine. There's no need to rush. It'll happen eventually. But she looks down and says, my grandma told me that I should never let anyone belittle me. Then she asks, Jen Hao, can I kiss you? He's shocked. What? She looks at him expectantly and asks again, can I? He thinks for a moment and says, if a kiss can make you feel less bitter about what they say, I don't mind. He's thinking, you're so good. If it's just a kiss, I won't refuse it. She tells him, I'm going to kiss you, as she moves closer. He gently grabs her by the neck and says, for the first time, I'll do it. If you're shy, you can close your eyes. She blushes and they share a kiss. She thinks her heart is beating so fast, while Jen Hao reflects that this moment is perfect. Someone knocks on the door, startling them both, but she quickly reassures him, saying that the door is locked so they're safe. The people outside are probably wondering why the room is locked all the time, questioning what's going on inside. Feeling a bit embarrassed, he turns to her and says, well, now you've kissed a boy. Haha, No one will tease you about never having kissed anyone in the future. Haha. But then she grabs his hand and places it over her heart, saying, John Hao, what's happening? My heart is beating too fast. Am I sick? The protagonist is caught off guard since she placed his hand on her chest. He tries to play it off, putting his hand on his head, and explains it's just dopamine in your brain because you're happy from kissing. It's nothing serious. In his mind, he's worried that she might start liking him, which could be problematic. But she quickly admits that she liked it and wants to practice kissing more. Despite her heart racing, she says it felt comfortable, and she's already leaning in. The protagonist tries to downplay the situation, saying that it's not common for friends to kiss each other. Even though he doesn't mind, she shouldn't ask other friends to do this, just him. She agrees. He then says that he'll teach her slowly. The scene shifts to Yuha in her room, watching a video that claps can be heard all the time. She watches it from start to finish, but notices that her heart didn't race. She wonders, Zheng Hao said that Yuan's heart races when she watches these things, but nothing happened to me. Why is that? She recalls that Zheng Hao said he would teach her slowly. She wonders if she can call him now, so she calls him. He answers and they start talking. She tells him she watched the video Yuan sent her, but her heart didn't race. She asks why, and if he can explain it to her. The protagonist is shocked, knowing that if Yuan sent the video, it must have been something quite explicit. He hesitates to respond, making Yua feel awkward. She says, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. I don't want to ask you these things anymore. The protagonist reassures her, saying that these are difficult questions, but that he doesn't mind answering. She can ask whenever she wants, but he suggests they talk about it later because he's going to take a shower now. She says she'll shower too and suggests they have a conversation while doing so. He agrees and tells her to keep her phone away from the water to avoid getting it wet. As they start showering, even Zhang Hao feels a bit awkward. He turns on the shower and she says she's washing her hair. He replies that he's also washing his hair. Meanwhile, his sister is outside, wondering who he's talking to in the shower. Does he have a girlfriend? Should I do something? She sits on the bed, grabs her phone, and starts chatting with Long Long, asking if Zhang Hao is being pursued by many women. Long Long responds, he's very handsome, so obviously he is. She then asks if he has a girlfriend. Long Long says no, and she can relax. She gets up thinking, perfect, if he doesn't have a girlfriend yet, I still have a chance. She decides to make her move and lies down on his bed. Meanwhile, the protagonist is having a peculiar conversation. He says he's going to lie down and later find some information on how to improve their exercises and send it to her for careful study. He heads to his room thinking it's better for her to learn things properly rather than from nonsense. When he arrives in his room, he sees a lump under the blanket. He pulls it back and finds his sister, the nicest person on the planet, saying, I was waiting for you to get out of the shower so we could watch a movie together, but I ended up falling asleep. He replies, sorry, I took too long in the shower. Meanwhile, on his phone, there were some peculiar things open. His sister in his bed and him seeing those things. My God, what's happening? He says he'll talk to Yuva later and sends a message saying he'll get in touch. She then asks, what movie do you want to watch? He responds that he likes watching horror movies because they scare him and can cling to someone. However, she says she's sweaty and will take a shower first, asking him to wait for her in the living room. You can already imagine how she'll come out of that shower. I don't need to continue to know she'll come out strong. The protagonist starts thinking that in his world, when watching a horror movie, girls would cling to the guys, but here it's reversed. So in his theory, he should cling to her, and he's already imagining the joy. Then she comes out of the shower in just a nightgown. The protagonist is stunned and asks, oh, my sister, what are you doing here? She ignores the question and asks if he chose a movie. He's thinking, my God, doesn't she realize she needs to choose her clothes better at home? I better start watching a movie soon before I can't resist this temptation. She looks at him and asks, why are you blushing, boy? He brushes it off as usual, saying, no, nothing. It's just really hot in here. Let's watch the movie. She thinks it's better to take things slowly. When he gets scared, he'll probably jump on me. The movie is about a girl coming out of a well, but in this case, it's a guy coming out of the well. The protagonist thinks that with reversed genders, it's not scary. However, she's scared and starts clinging to him. He asks, are you scared, little sister? She replies, oh, sorry, how? You won't think I'm useless and scared of things, right? And in her thoughts, she reveals that she really is scared. She didn't expect to be this frightened. However, he hugs her and says that being scared of ghosts is normal. She thinks, how nice of my how to be so active. Now she's happy because she thought it would go wrong, but it turned out the opposite. The plan was for him to jump on her, but she ended up jumping on him and everything worked out. The protagonist reveals in his thoughts that even though his heart races when she gets close, he doesn't have any improper thoughts. Then he imagines his father coming in and saying that if he does anything, he'll get beaten up. His sister asks what he's thinking about, and he says it's nothing. He mentions that it's getting late, so it's time for them to go back to resting. She grabs his hand and says, let's go upstairs. Zhang Hao thinks it's the first time he's seen her acting so feminine, so he's feeling like a Chad. They go up the stairs, he goes to his room, and she asks, how can I sleep with you tonight? The protagonist, all innocent, thinks, oh, poor thing. She was watching a scary movie and got scared. That's why she wants to sleep. But then he imagines that the problem with letting her sleep here is that he won't be able to sleep with her next to him, so it'll be difficult. But she gives a little pout and asks, "Do you want me to sleep with you?" Jong Hao responds, "I don't mind, you can sleep." She lies down next to him and says he's brave because he wasn't scared while she was terrified. He says she doesn't need to explain because they're family, and she can be herself. She doesn't need to hide how she feels around him. She gets all shy and hugs him, lying close to his neck, and Jong Hao is petrified. The day passes, morning comes, and she gets up all happy, saying that sleeping next to him was a blessing. She's never slept so well. She looks at Jong Hao, who has wide eyes, looking like he didn't sleep a wink. She asks what happened. "Little brother, he couldn't sleep." "What happened?" He's just remembering how she kept putting her head on his chest and he couldn't concentrate to sleep, waking up every time. She thinks it was because of the horror movies that he had nightmares and says they won't watch those things anymore. Jong Hao is pretending and thinking that his body is completely exhausted, drained from the night. As he's getting ready and brushing his teeth, Long sends some messages, and it seems like he made some stickers of Jong Hao saying things like, "The baby is angry, don't eat, the male god is angry." Long is saying he's going to post these emojis online, and they're going to go viral. Jong Hao tells him to stop taking pictures of him. He goes downstairs and asks what his sister is doing there. She says she received an emoji from him. Long sent it to everyone. Jong Hao says that it's garbage that Long made and she shouldn't use it. However, obviously, this crazy sister loved it. As soon as they get to school, the girls are all looking at him, thinking he's the guy from the emojis. They approach him saying, "I got your emoji pack. It's so cool. Could you sign here and autograph my backpack?" He runs off, opens a door, and shouts, "Long, you bastard. Come here, you jerk." Long replies, "Do you want more emojis? Relax, come here and pick some." Jong Hao responds, "Are you crazy? Delete those damn stickers or you're getting beaten up." In the midst of this conversation, Yuba asks, "Jong Hao, are you upset?" He says no, that it's all just a joke. Then he notices that she cut her hair a bit and asks if she trimmed it. She jokes saying she didn't cut it, just washed it. Then she admits she cut her bangs to look cuter for him. Jong Hao chuckles, thinking that it's much easier to deal with her than with his sister or Wei because she's much more obedient. She mentions that tonight she wants to show him a new secret base. It seems like they're in an old school, hidden under a desk in a random room. It looks like some people are already making out there while he's under the desk. However, Jong Hao feels like he's in a forbidden place. At that moment, she tries to say something and he covers her mouth. But when he covers her mouth, she blushes and starts licking his hand. Jong Hao is paralyzed, not knowing what to do. Then she looks at him and asks, "You know what I want?" and attacks him with a passionate kiss. Jong Hao, of course, has zero resistance and just accepts it, thinking that she's always close to him and they're basically in the same class. She's always affectionate. The only problem is if his sister finds out about this, he's in trouble. She'll never take care of him again. But the kiss is already happening, and she's completely dazed. He then tells her, "No, my dear, when you kiss, you have to breathe. Hold on a bit." She says, "Okay, I'll keep practicing." He tells her, No, calm down. We need to go back to class. Time's up." A while later, they're holding hands and Jong Hao is thinking, "Do I want to date her? Do I want to go out with her?" Then he remembers his sister and realizes he can't choose. Interestingly, he didn't even think about why. And in the next panel, who's there? Wei herself in her office, talking to her secretary. The secretary is saying that they should capitalize more on Jong Hao's image because just from taking some photos of him at the mall, he became super famous. However, Wei warns, "I don't want his photos circulating on the internet. He's going to be my man." But the emojis are everywhere, and the secretary alerts her. It's too late. The emoji pack of him is selling like water in the desert. Wei is furious. She pulls out her phone to find the emoji pack, seeing several photos of him circulating on the internet and gets furious, wanting to know who did this. She looks at a pile of documents on the table thinking, "Damn it, I have to take care of my business." But I can't stop thinking about Jong Hao. She says that the more he resists, the less she'll be able to help him. She bites her finger, remembering the kiss, and leaves, saying that everyone should forget about him because he will be her man. On the way home, as he's about to enter, a car is parked outside. Who is it? It's her again. Jong Hao walks over and says, "I've already told you we won't see each other anymore. Erase me from your life and don't talk to me. Didn't we agree not to talk? Did you change your mind?" She says that even though they kind of agreed not to talk, she couldn't control herself and came here to see him. The warrior couldn't resist. Jong Hao scolds her again, saying, "You're the CEO of a company, a trained soldier, and you can't even control this kind of thing." She responds that she saw his photos flying around the internet and a bunch of women talking about him. She couldn't hold back. She grabs him by the collar and pulls him close, saying, "Do they think they can touch my man?" Jong Hao is lost, looking at the door, thinking if his sister shows up, things will get complicated. So it's better to leave quickly. He tells her to go somewhere else, get in the car, and let's go. In the car, Jong Hao explains exactly the type of woman he likes. He prefers women who are cute, act like a baby sometimes, and are obedient, unlike her, who just wants to disagree with him all the time and be bossy. He thinks it's terrible to be with Wei, because when you're with her, it feels like she just wants to control you and you have no opinion at all. She lets out a sigh and chuckles, asking if he likes that type of weak woman and questions if women in his world were like that. Jong-ho says she can imagine whatever she wants, but he won't talk about how his world was. However, she needs to know that she is not his type. Then she asks, how can all these incompetent women compare to me? I have money, status, fame. None of that is a problem for me. If you were my man, you could stay at home and I'd give you everything you want. What's the problem? Jong-ho thinks that it does sound quite tempting, but he responds that he understands how she feels. But if she finds another good-looking guy, she'll forget about him soon. So they just need to give it some time and everything will pass. Then she grabs his chin, leans in, and says that, Yuha, do you think she's like that? You just don't know the kind of woman she is. Jong-ho snaps, telling her not to involve Yuha. However, he accidentally used a pet name for Yuha, which we noticed and got a bit angry because it showed their intimacy. Jong-ho notices Wee's anger and gets upset that she's upset, saying, what's the problem with using a different name for her? If you want, I'll call you by a different name too. She feels a bit embarrassed and turns away, saying that's enough of that. However, Jong-ho notices that she got shy just because he said that. He explains that it's just a way friends communicate, and she doesn't need to overthink it. And if she wants, they can even be friends. Just don't follow me around everywhere. Got it. Jong-ho's plan is for her to gradually distance herself, while they grow apart and she forgets about him. However, at the entrance of the house, he encounters the same guy who was watching him from the corner before. The guy says he's a friend of his sister and wanted Jong-ho to deliver a gift to her. Jong-ho thinks the guy looks familiar and remembers that this was the guy who sent semi-nude photos to his sister. He confronts the guy saying, oh, I know who you are. You're the one sending lewd stuff to my sister. Right. Just know that what matters to my sister matters to me too. If I see you here again, I'll call the police for sexual harassment. So scram. The guy leaves but thinks he'll make his sister like him no matter what it takes. When Jong-ho gets home, his sister greets him and says she was too lazy to cook today, so she bought fast food for them to eat. She mentions that it's good to indulge in junk food every once in a while. Jong-ho doesn't know what to do with the temptation in front of him, feeling a bit flustered. He notices she sighs a little and asks her what's bothering her today. She says she's upset because he's too popular on the internet after that emoji pack. She explains that while she was at work, a lot of people were looking at photos of him on their phones and it made her jealous. Jong-ho tells her to stop being silly, saying that all of it will fade away soon because he doesn't want to be an internet celebrity. She says it's good that he doesn't want to be a celebrity because being one is dangerous, especially if you're the type who uses your image to make money. People will start wanting to take pictures of your butt, your arms, and everything else. And those are things only I can see, she jokes. She tells him she's just kidding and for him to drink up. As she looks at him, she thinks to herself that she knows a lot of people will be fascinated by his appearance, so she needs to resolve this quickly before too many people get involved in the future. Time is running out and actions need to be taken. The scene shifts to the evening, and she is knocking on his bedroom door. He seems to be studying programming. His sister asks if she can stay there and work beside him and if it will bother him. He says it won't and she can stay. Looking at her, he thinks that for once she's acting like a real big sister. He says she can sit there and work as much as she wants. It won't affect him. She thanks him, says she's happy, and has a gift for him. She mentions that she spends a lot of her money every day, so today she's giving him her daily salary of 3,000 yuan. Jong-ho thinks about how unfair the world is. In his previous life, he worked a whole month to earn a fraction of that. He asks how she earns so much at such a young age. She explains that although she's not yet a qualified surgeon, she can assist in some surgeries, so earning 3,000 isn't much compared to what she'll make in the future. In her mind, she wants to show that she can easily provide a good life for him. Jong-ho asks if 3,000 isn't too much. She explains that she was accepted because of her talent. It's not normal for people to be able to assist in such operations. She was the top student, so she has some special privileges. As a cardiac surgeon, a field with few specialists, she's in high demand and her salary will only increase. Jong-ho responds, sister, you're really amazing. If I could make that much money one day, I'd be happy. Moreover, with all the money she's earning, his father and her mother won't have to work so hard or late. She says it's sweet of him to think that, but they haven't been working much lately, and they're even going on a trip that she's apparently paying for. Jong-ho asks if they're going to be gone for a while, and she confirms it. He realizes that they'll be alone in the house for quite some time, and the look on her face suggests she's planning something during that time. The next scene starts with Jong-ho at the sink, shouting in desperation, not knowing what to do because he can't resist being alone with her at night. He mutters to himself, don't look, don't think, don't speak. But as soon as he sees her, the poor guy collapses again. Then he asks why she changed her clothes, noting that each one is shorter than the last. She responds, because I wanted to work more comfortably, so I put on some pajamas to feel free, and she's lying on his bed just studying. Hours pass, and Jong-ho notices that she's constantly looking at him. She realizes she's been noticed and says her shoulder hurts a lot, and asks if she deserves a massage. Of course, the poor guy is all flustered, not knowing what to say, but the scene shifts to him helping her relax. She then comments that this weekend they'll be alone, so they could take some time to have fun. John Hao realizes they've never really gone out together, so he agrees. She says, I'll think about it carefully because it's my first date with my brother. He's confused by the word date, thinking it's just two siblings going out, but he lets it slide. Time passes and it's 11 p.m. He tells her it's time for bed. She says she'll go to her room first. A miracle that she's not going to sleep in his bed. They say goodnight and she leaves thinking that she can't do anything more intimate yet. And our boy lets out a sigh. In his mind, he's thinking, I can't wait to spend the weekend with her. At that moment, his phone rings. He answers, and who is it? Wei Nan, and he immediately says, oh Wei, you can't keep insisting like this. If you want to find a man, I'll introduce you to someone else. But she responds, I hate men. Not just anyone can be my boyfriend. I only want you, so talk to me now. Then he asks, if you hate men, why are you still following me? What do you mean? She says that ever since she was young, she always saw a bunch of perverted men following her, especially because of the fame and money she has. She saw her mother go out with many of these guys, so she hates delicate men. However, the protagonist is different. She explains that when she was young, she worked every day until she joined the army, so it's not her fault that she doesn't know how to take care of him. She even wants to learn. However, all she knows so far is how to work, run a business, make money, and fight in wars. But she wants to do her best for him. She just doesn't know how, but she'll give him everything he wants. She says that she could literally take him to space in the future because the Feng Hong group is studying rockets. John Hao replies, I'm not interested in going to the stars. He continues, anyway, I'm going to sleep now, so we should go to sleep too. I'm hanging up, and he hangs up. Wow, the guy just shut her down after she poured her heart out. That's cold man. But as he hangs up, he thinks about how she's the kind of person who studied every day and barely had a childhood, which is why she's a bit manic. He feels a bit sorry for her. As he closes his eyes to sleep, he has another flashback of his sister, saying, no, you can't look at anyone else, and clinging to him. The night passes and the protagonist wakes up at school. Ever since the emoji craze started, he hasn't been able to go home alone because his sister has been picking him up every day, worried about his newfound fame. In the morning, Yua greets him and he asks why she's so late. She says it's because she was thinking about kissing him and suddenly she goes to kiss him. He says, whoa, girl, keep it down, okay? That's a secret. You can't just say that to everyone. She gets closer, touches his finger and says, Zhang Hao, let's kiss. He replies, calm down, and tries to explain that kissing is something more intimate and should be done at school or with just anyone. She responds, okay, then let's kiss at my house today after school. Zhang Hao suggests, how about we just focus on classes first, then we can talk about it later. But he notices she looks sad for not getting a kiss and feels sorry for her. He thinks that his body's reactions are different in this world. Once he starts, there's no going back. He can't take the risk. During the break, he calls over his friend Long. As they leave, the girls are all over him saying, oh my god, it's the emoji guy, sign my bag, emoji guy. He's wondering what's going on and why things are getting worse every day. Long shows him a video titled The God Who Appears Once Every 70,000 Years. John Hao is furious. One girl even tries to grab his butt, but Yuha is there and quickly twists the girl's wrist. The girls, knowing Yuha can fight, are shocked. John Hao tells Yuha to calm down and let the girl go. Just then, the principal shows up and tells everyone to leave, and they all scatter. Meanwhile, the two guys who always cause trouble for John Hao are talking. The green-haired one says to the other, man, when you were famous, everyone followed you. Now John Hao is stealing all your fans. The purple streak replies, I don't get what they see in him. What's he got besides looks? Can he sing, dance, rap? No, right? The only thing he's got is his appearance. He's useless. Then they hear some girls talking about a fancy car parked outside, and the guy wonders what's going on. In front of the school, there's a lineup of luxury cars. And who is it? Obviously, it's Wei Nan. John Hao sees the scene, and Long exclaims, wow, look at that. A line of luxury cars, what's happening? It's so impressive. John Hao dismisses it, saying it's nothing special. Let's just grab something to eat and get out of here. He's still confused about why he's become so famous. At that moment, his phone rings, and who is it? The legendary Wei. He says, girl, do you have to follow me even to school? She replies, come here, I'm taking you to dinner. He responds, oh, is that you in the car? I'm not going. I'm eating with my classmates. But she replies, I knew you'd say that, so I came prepared. She gets out of the car and orders a feast to be served. The staff literally sets up a table for a whole feast. But as soon as John Hao sees this, he calls her in a panic, telling her to stop and that he'll eat with her. Yuga asks what's going on, and he makes an excuse and runs off, leaving her looking a bit sad. Wei, noticing Yuga's sadness, gives a sly smile. This girl is something else. John Hao talks to Wei and tells her that he doesn't want anyone to find out what's happening between them. If anyone does, he'll never speak to her again. She feels hurt by his words, but thinks he's cute when he doesn't know what to do. She orders the staff to pack everything back into the car and leave. The scene changes to her waiting for him at the corner, wearing a hat. He comes up and asks, so you want to go out to eat? She says yes, and he agrees, but only if he gets to choose the place. She agrees, so he takes her to the most rundown place possible, hoping to make her dislike him. He says, I love this place. It's my favorite. but I know you're a rich tyrant, so you probably won't like it. She really doesn't like it. He thinks, yes, hate me, hate me. They go into the shabby restaurant and she's shocked by how rundown it is. She pulls out her card and tells the owner not to let anyone else eat there while she's around. John Hao quickly intervenes, saying, you may be rich, but if you do that, where will poor people eat? If you're just going to flaunt your wealth, let's leave right now. She thinks, man, you're really difficult. John Hao orders a big bowl of instant noodles with a fried egg. She looks at the menu and wonders if something this cheap is even edible. John Hao, a bit embarrassed, says, I've eaten this my whole life. If it were poisoned, I'd be dead by now. The restaurant owner glares at her and tells her to order quickly because she's holding up the line. John Hao places his order and Wai insists the staff wear gloves and use only fresh ingredients for her. The owner gets upset but quickly changes her tune when Wai flashes some cash, promising to use all the proper attire and ingredients. John Hao watches and thinks this is getting a bit mean, but then Wai grabs him and says, stop looking at her, only look at me. He thinks, wow, you're even jealous of the restaurant aunt. But she cuts him off, asking if he really eats here. He confirms, saying, yes, this is where poor people eat. She can understand it because she's always surrounded by wealthy people and doesn't realize how her actions are inappropriate. He makes it clear that he doesn't have a Cinderella complex. He doesn't want to be pampered or supported by her. If that's what she wants, she can just leave. The scene shifts and a restaurant lady comes out dressed like a top chef, complete with a mask, hat, and vest. She's almost like a surgeon. The food she brings is impressive. Wei looks at the meal and says, this is actually edible. I had worse in the army, especially considering that I love you. John Hao thinks, this girl is crazy. Wei doesn't want him to eat it, saying it's not clean or nutritious. John Hao is puzzled by her madness, but her words show that she's trying to care for him in her way. Out of nowhere, she asks, why do you kiss so well? Who taught you that? He dodges the question, saying it's not the right time to talk about such things and claims he learned it all from watching TV. Wei warns him, you better not let me find out you have any kind of relationship with another woman. If not, I promise I'll do something about it. John Hao is taken aback. The scene shifts to John Hao talking with Long in the room. Long is asking what he thinks about a particular lipstick and whether it will look good. John Hao, uninterested, says, I don't know, man. I just want to go home. Long insists, saying he wants to see his sister's reaction when she sees it. John Hao brushes it off, and they head to his sister's room where she's drawing something. Long enters and says, sister, are you drawing again? Scared, she replies, brother, what are you doing here? The scene cuts to John Hao holding her book. It turns out she was drawing John Hao being surrounded by several girls. John Hao starts to scold her, but she quickly defends herself, saying, no, it wasn't me. I was forced to do it by my friends. She starts crying, begging him to believe her, claiming she can't even read properly yet. However, John Hao opens a file on her PC, revealing 500 gigabytes of study material, showing she clearly can read. She gets angry, asking, how did you find this? How did you discover everything I was doing so quickly? John Hao cuts her off, saying he has to teach her a lesson since she's the sister of his best friend. He confiscates everything, stating that at her age, she should be focusing on her studies and not drawing such things. He adds that if she follows his rules, he'll grant her a wish. At that moment, John Hao's sister calls, asking what he's doing. He replies that he's leaving Long Long's house. She offers to pick him up, concerned for his safety. At her office, a colleague asks who she's talking to. She suddenly turns and leaves. Her friend at the office suggests they go to a bar this weekend to hang out and meet some good-looking guys. However, she declines, saying she already has a very handsome guy she's going out with on Saturday. The friend, curious, asks who it is, but she says she'll reveal it once she has the results. Her friend then pulls something out of her pocket and says she's giving her a baby, but the exact item is censored. She looks at it, and her friend advises her to take precautions. Meanwhile, a guy who's been following her, possibly a colleague, overhears everything. He's clearly upset and has learned where they'll be shopping, planning to confront them. She arrives home and hears a voice in the room. Why is he doing a live stream at this hour? She wonders. John Hao is furious during the stream because people have discovered that he's the once in 70,000 years guy, and he didn't want his personal image tied to the game. He wanted to keep it strictly a gaming stream. To make matters worse, even players in the game have been stream sniping him, recognizing him and asking him to remove his mask. He can't even play in peace anymore. Suddenly, his sister shuts off the PC. Stop playing, she orders. The scene changes to the school, but honestly, if someone shut off my PC like that, I wouldn't be happy either. There'd have to be some compensation for that. They recall what happened the previous night. As soon as she turned off his PC, she grabbed his arm, pleading, stop live streaming. They've already recognized you. Everyone will know who you are and where you live. Desperate, she worried that if he became too famous, he wouldn't be able to stay at home. Can't you just stay home and let your sister take care of you? She asked, afraid that he might be taken away from her. Because if he starts meeting a lot of people, he'll definitely forget about her. He reassures her that he's only streaming for now, it's just a temporary thing. It doesn't matter if other people know about him because she is his family, and he won't forget her. But even though he reassures her, she still doesn't feel well with those words. The scene shifts back to him at school. John Hao is thinking that lately, she's been trying to follow him more than usual. Is it just because they're siblings, or is there something more? At that moment, John Hao sees that from the previous night's stream, he earned 38,000 yuan. Let me translate that for you, it's around $5,000 to $7,000, man, from just one stream. He thinks, wow, I didn't even ask for donations or anything. The platform took their cut, and I still got all this? Seriously? If I keep making this kind of money? This is the power of being an internet celebrity. However, he remembers that the main goal isn't to get rich. The main goal is to return to his own world. Then the scene changes. John Hao arrives at school and finds a crowd of fans there, accompanied by Long Long, all welcoming him. Now the protagonist has a fan club at school. The girls are all saying they'll always support him. The guys who dislike him are discussing, damn, John Hao was already a celebrity at school. Now he's an internet celebrity, and it's ruined everything. However, as always, they claim that the only thing that matters about him is his looks because he doesn't do anything special. It's obvious the guy has a malicious plan. While John Hao is changing in the bathroom, the guy is secretly taking photos with his phone. Long Long walks in and comments, wow, John Hao, your abs are already defined. Meanwhile, the guy keeps snapping pictures. However, he accidentally drops his phone and John Hao notices, asking, man, what are you doing here? The guy checks his phone screen to see if it's broken and realizes he's been caught. John Hao confronts him, dude, what are you doing here? Are you taking pictures of me? The guy denies it, but John Hao takes the phone, obviously finds the pictures, and starts undressing, taunting the guy, go ahead and take as many pictures as you want, while handing back the phone. The guy thinks, wow, this guy is really crazy. John Hao uses this strategy because he can't afford to be scared of people taking pictures of him. If they find out he's sensitive about it, the situation will only get worse. It's better to boldly face it. The scene shifts to John Hao following the guy on the street, thinking he needs to find a way to get this guy to leave him alone and stop taking pictures of him. The guy is looking at his phone, thinking, that jerk John Hao caught me, but I won't give up. Just then, someone grabs him and pulls him into an alley. John Hao turns the corner to see who it is and realizes it's Wainan's goons. So he understands that she's the one orchestrating this. One of the goons tells the guy to say that nothing happened and disappear. John Hao realizes that Wainan probably has someone watching him at school, knowing what happened and that this green-haired guy was taking pictures of him. So he calls her, asking what she's going to do with the guy. She responds, oh, so you know it was me who did this. John Hao says, well, your goon pulled the guy right in front of me. How could I not see? Wainan replies that since the guy wanted to provoke John Hao, he has to face the consequences. But John Hao tells her not to worry about this kind of thing. He'll handle it himself. Even more so at school. However, Wei says she doesn't care what he thinks she should do. She's going to handle things her way, even if it means doing so at school. John Hao, angry, says he's going to hang up, knowing there's not much he can do. All he hopes for now is that the guy shows up at school tomorrow and doesn't disappear for good. The next day, as soon as he sees the guy is visibly startled and acts overly polite, as if afraid. John Hao realizes that the guy was probably beaten up. While they're eating, Yuha notices that John Hao seems a bit down and asks what's wrong. He replies, ah, nothing much, just a headache. Out of nowhere, she gets up and starts giving him a facial massage, saying that when he did that for her at the park, she felt better. So she just wants to help. At that moment, she suddenly hugs him, saying she wants to stay close to him. She says that hugging makes her happy and kissing makes her happy. John Hao, trying to play it cool, responds, I want to make you happy too. He's standing there thinking about how obedient she is and how romantic the scene feels. He just thanks her and gives her a hug, but he realizes that even though he likes the hugs from his sister and Yun Wei, he doesn't feel as relaxed with them as he does with Yuha. Even though his half-sister is very beautiful, it doesn't feel right because she is family. And with Wei, he fears that getting involved even a little could be dangerous. Considering all this, it's only with Yuha that he feels a sense of calm and peace. Suddenly, she starts kissing his neck and asks for a kiss, even beginning to take off her shirt. Wow, she's really going for it. He tells her to calm down and not be so forward. But the truth is, he also wants it. He just doesn't want anyone at school to see. He asks her what kind of movies she's been watching. She says she hasn't watched anything. However, he still thinks that she probably watched something to make her act like this, like a crazy person. He then tells her that these kinds of things are only for couples to do. Only really after you understand what love is and you're actually like dating. She then asks him, so what is love? He gives a generic response saying that love is when you love someone. Wow, a perfect 10-tense answer, well done. He knows she won't understand anything, so he tries to give a half-hearted explanation, saying it's when you feel relaxed around someone. He asks if that's how she feels around him. Because if they ever start dating, he doesn't want it to be just for physical things, but for love. After giving her all this advice, he says it's time to go back to class. She didn't say anything the entire time. Out of nowhere, Wong calls him, telling him to be careful. He noticed that John Hao has been going to lunch with Yuha all the time and she's probably taking advantage of him. But John Hao says it's nothing like that. They're just friends. Then John Hao starts thinking that if even Wong noticed, the people watching him, like those hired by Wei, will probably inform her about Yuha. so he needs to distance himself a bit to keep Yuha safe. John Hao is doing another live stream. His sister comes in as usual, takes the microphone and says, "My little baby is going to sleep. See you in the next live, bye." John Hao is like, "Hey, I'm outdone here." But she replies, "Every time you play, you get so focused. It's time to stop. Let's rest. Come to bed and lie on your sister's lap, and I'll give you a massage." John Hao lies on the bed, thinking, my sister is so nice, always taking care of me, not knowing her true intentions. She's just trying to convince him to stop streaming, saying that many of his viewers probably have bad intentions. She suggests he should stream less. And another thing, no matter how much they ask, he shouldn't show anything. Even if they ask for measurements or other details, he should refuse. He's confused, asking about what measures is she talking about. She laughs and says he doesn't understand the evils of the world and that she'll teach him how to take the measurements of the 4 things. John Hao thinks to himself, hips, waist, chest, and what's the 4th measurement? The scene then cuts to her measuring his chest, lifting his shirt. He's shocked, thinking, what on earth is happening? She comments, "You have great abdominal muscles." He mentions that he's been exercising. She runs her hand over his abs, saying she's a bit envious. Then she remarks that he seems to have a fever and starts pulling down his shorts. John Hao, alarmed, exclaims, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" Realizing what she's doing, she suddenly thinks that she almost lost control and messed up. John Hao wonders if she's really feeling shy, finding her rather cute. The scene changes to the next morning and they're having coffee. She reminds him that today is their date, and he questions whether she understands the meaning of the word date. Half an hour later, she comes down from her room and asks him how she looks. He thinks to himself that she looks even more stunning than the girls on the internet. Not doing a great job of playing the brother role, he just tells her that she looks beautiful and that he'll go change so they can leave. As they walk around the mall, John Hao notices the guy who's always lurking around their house is there too. She comments that it seems like he's found them again and that they were followed. John Hao asks, "Is it that guy in the hat, sis? I'll go deal with him." She stops him, saying, No, don't do anything. He works with me in the same lab. If you cause trouble, it can make things difficult at work, and I might lose my job. She wants to handle it more indirectly and asks him for a favor. He asks what the favor is, and she requests that they pretend to be a couple to make the guy back off completely. John Hao agrees, saying he'll do it for her since she doesn't mind. She feels a bit embarrassed but happy and thanks him. The fun begins as they go to a claw machine with stuffed animals. She mentions that she's heard all guys love receiving stuffed animals, so she wants to win some for him. They enjoy some ice cream and cat ear headbands, just having fun at the mall. Then she suggests they go somewhere else, and John Hao, noticing the guy is still following them, suggests they hold hands to make it look more convincing. The guy has been following them all day like a maniac and isn't leaving. John Hao asks her, does he still not believe we're together? She replies, I guess not. Suddenly she says, oh my god, he's coming toward us. She kisses John Hao, catching him off guard, while the guy behind them is shocked, thinking they kissed in public. John Hao's sister is mentally praising the guy for not disappointing her. She had anticipated the situation and deliberately gave away their location earlier, setting up this whole scene to justify the kiss. She's playing a fourth-dimensional chess game. She apologizes for kissing him without asking and asks if it scared him. He assures her it's okay and asks where the guy went. She tells him it looks like he ran away. She's thinking, this isn't a dream, I kissed him, and he wasn't even mad. He's just a little shy. Does he like my physical affection? Again, she apologizes, explaining that she didn't know how to handle the stressful situation and couldn't control herself. John Hao reassures her that it's okay. He's not mad. However, he points out that kissing in public is problematic. She tells him not to worry about it, explaining that even though they are theoretically siblings, they aren't related by blood. Therefore, there's nothing wrong with it, and since they have such a good relationship, kissing isn't a big deal. And she continues, hey, how are you going to tell me you didn't enjoy kissing me? John Hao is taken aback and wonders why she's asking him that. As a man, he obviously enjoyed it to some extent. However, he knows that if he admits to enjoying it, their relationship could take a step in a direction he's not sure if he wants to go. Moreover, if things escalate, it could ruin the family they have now, driving their parents crazy. He tells her that even though they kiss, it was just a casual thing because they're family. They have to keep things appropriate. She gets excited, realizing that he didn't dislike it, which likely means he does have feelings for her. If he didn't like it, he would have acted differently. She then gives him a look, clearly planning something mischievous with this new understanding. She says, that's fine, but today we're not related. Today we're a couple. We agreed to be a couple for the whole day, and maybe that stalker is still following us. So we need to keep up the act until the end of the day, okay? Meanwhile, two girls in the corner are talking. Hey, could you see that couple over there? The guy's handsome, and the girl's all dressed up. Let's get some money out of them. They approach, trying to threaten them for money. The sister puts her hand in her pocket, ready to pull out a knife, thinking if they take another step forward, I can cut one of their organs. I might try to keep them alive, but they'll probably die. This sister is ready to kill, but she doesn't want to risk her brother's safety. So she pulls out a bunch of cash and throws it at them. The girls warn her to be careful or they'll break her boyfriend's face. But John Hao, entering psycho mode, says that's not going to happen. His sister looks at him, confused by his confidence. One of the girls tries to punch him, but John Hao easily dodges and lands a hit on her stomach, sending her flying. The other girl is shocked, and John Hao challenges her. "You want some too? Come on." The two girls run away, and John Hao turns to his sister, exclaiming, "I will always protect you." She is surprised, thinking, when did my brother become so strong? As far as she remembers, he was always timid and hiding behind her. She starts having flashbacks to their childhood when she never wanted to be separated from him. Even when he stopped talking to her, she kept watching over him to protect him. Since she became part of his family, he used to tell her everything, but lately he seems less dependent on her and less willing to share. John Hao notices her deep in thought and asks what's wrong. She brushes it off, saying it's nothing, and suggests he go take a bath. While he's in the shower, she gets on his computer to check for any information that might explain what's going on. She quickly finds the novel he's been writing. Meanwhile, John Hao is enjoying a relaxing shower. She reads the novel, which describes a world opposite to their own. When he enters his room, she's no longer there, but she suddenly appears, offering him a glass of milk. And my friend, what a glass of milk it is. She then asks him, "What kind of story are you writing? Won't you tell your sister?" He downplays it, saying he just writes casually and that it's nothing special. Thinking it's better not to let his sister know about these things for now, he realizes she already suspects he's hiding something. She says, "Are you writing something you don't want me to read? That can't happen. You've been acting so strange lately, practicing Muay Thai, and you even wanted to defend your sister with a punch today. Compared to the how I knew, you're very different now. I'm worried about you." She gives him a dark stare, and John Hao realizes she might have seen something and is suspicious. He wonders, did she know the previous owner of this body before becoming my sister? He asks her, "How have I changed lately? Did you know me before?" She looks surprised and responds, "Yes, we knew each other from childhood." John Hao is stunned. "We've known each other since childhood? What do you mean? What's going on?" He thinks to himself, "Why do I have any memory of this?" She explains that they spent their early childhood together, and she asks how he can't remember anything. He says it's probably because it was a long time ago. He doesn't remember those memories. John Hao thinks my sister seems suspicious that I don't remember. She appears saddened by this, wondering if it has something to do with his trip to the Red Moon. He decides he needs to play dumb to avoid upsetting her and says, "Almost every night I have a dream about a little girl fighting with other kids. The girl's eyes are scary. Since I started having this dream, I felt the need to become stronger to protect myself. That's why I've been exercising and practicing Muay Thai. The only reason I had the courage to face those gang members at the mall was because you were beside me. I knew you wouldn't let anything bad happen, right?" He places a reassuring hand on her shoulder, saying everything she wants to hear. She blushes and says, "Of course, I wouldn't let anything happen." He thinks the best strategy with her is to act weak because she tries to protect me. She wonders if she had scared him so much that he forgot everything from their childhood. But she resolves that it doesn't matter now because she has a chance to change everything. She then says today, How, you scared me. So you deserve a punishment." He asks, "What punishment?" She responds, "Naturally, I'll tickle you." They begin tickling each other, laughing, and eventually collapse out of breath on the bed. She tells him, How, don't ever scare me like that again, okay?" He replies, "Okay, sis, okay." She then climbs on top of him and says, "We agreed to be a couple for the whole day, and the day's not over yet." She starts to mount him, and John Hao is in shock. He says, "But no one's following us anymore. We don't need to pretend to be a couple." She retorts, "It's just for a day, and since we already kiss, it's fine if we kiss again now." John Hao, unsure of what to say, begins to suspect that she doesn't just want to be family. She moves her mouth closer. Is it happening? Just as it seems like it might, their parents return from their trip. "Kinkini, how, are you upstairs?" The sister exclaims, "Damn it, Mom, didn't you say you'd be back tomorrow? Or the day after? What are you doing here?" John Hao, equally startled, thinks, "What the hell, Dad? Why did you come back now? What a disaster." The sister quickly says, "I'm just here in Hao's room and I'm leaving now." As she starts to go, Hao notices her face is still flushed. He tells her, "You're way too red right now. You should rest first and then go inside." She says, "So if my mom asks, tell her I have a fever and feel dizzy and went to rest." John Hao thinks to himself, it's confirmed. My sister Kin really is his dangerous girl. Could it be? What should I do? The world is so upside down that John Hao even remembers that his mother went out to buy cigarettes and never came back when he was very young. That's why his father works like a condemned slave, and it's the reason John Hao was raised in a daycare, spending his entire childhood there. It was there that he met the coolest little sister. It seems like no one in the room talked to her until the protagonist came up and said, "Hey, little sister, why are you always alone? You just got here. What's up? Let's play." "My name is John Hao, and I'm 5 years old." She looked at him with a death glare, and John Hao was shocked. She ignored him and said nothing. She's in her room thinking, "Oh, my plan worked so well. I kissed him. He didn't refuse anything. Does he like me too?" She's even sweating just thinking about it, and she's super happy. "Oh, Hao, I love you." Meanwhile, John Hao is in his room thinking, damn it, she's definitely interested in me. If it weren't for our parents coming home, we would have. He admits to himself that she's nice, really nice. She treats him very well, always takes care of him, is smart, earns good money, cooks, cleans the house. Wow, she really does everything. It's like you just need to exist, an NPC almost. Besides, he confesses, I have a crush on her. Every time I see her, my heart races. My God, what do I do? It's always been my dream to date a beautiful girl. But then, his expression changes as he wonders, but what would my dad think of this? Could I somehow, manipulate the situation in my favor in the future? At dinner, Kim's mom asks, Kim, did you take care of your brother while we were away? They exchange a knowing glance and Kim smiles, saying, of course I did, but he's grown a lot too, so he took care of me as well. Zhang Hao, confused, thinks, what does she mean by that? He quickly says, I finished eating. I'm going to a friend's house. Don't wait up for me, I won't be back early. Kim's mom responds, wow, you have a lot of friends. That's amazing. Do you want your sister to take you to this friend's house? Zhang Hao hesitates and then says, no need. You all can stay here. I'm leaving by. As he heads out, Kim says, something really good happened. He scene cuts to Zhang Hao in the city thinking, I hope she doesn't say anything to anyone. Who did you go to meet in the city? It's Yuba, dressed a bit provocatively. Why are you wearing those shorts? Come on, put on some clothes, he thinks. The other day, he scolded her for changing her tights, but now she's walking around like this, and he says nothing. Then he asks, what are you doing here, young lady? Didn't I say I would meet you at your house? But she replies, I missed you so much that I wanted to meet you halfway so we could spend more time together. Zhang Hao thinks, this girl, as he pats her head. Let's go home. They arrive at her mansion, and he's thinking, I've been here like 10 times, but I'm still impressed by how big this place is. She says, How, since it's just you and me here, what do you want to play? You can choose. Zhang Hao, already feeling awkward, thinks everything she says can be misunderstood. As she shows him around the house, she points out the pool. Zhang Hao thinks, wow, you have a pool at home. And not just any pool, it's like an Olympic-sized one. Yuha mentioned she thought about taking him to see the new weapons in the arsenal again, but one of her friends said he might not like that, so she brought him here to see if he'd enjoy the pool. Zhang Hao thinks, well, the weapons would have been interesting, but unfortunately, I didn't bring a swimsuit, so I guess swimming's off the table too. She says, no worries, the butler prepared plenty of swimsuits for us. If you want to swim, let's swim. Zhang Hao responds, all right, let's have a little race then, freestyle. The problem is, in his previous world, he wears Speedo, but in this world, guys can't show too much skin. If he wears a Speedo, Yuha might freak out because it'd be like seeing a girl naked in front of her, completely flipped. But then he spots a decent, socially acceptable swimsuit that seems okay. Something falls out from the middle of the suit, but he decides to ignore it, thinking, what is this? Whatever, it probably doesn't matter, and throws it away. He puts on the suit and heads to the pool. Yuva says, wow, you look so pretty. He replies, no, you're the pretty one. But enough chit-chat, let's race. Let's see how good you are. The rule is simple. Whoever reaches the other side first wins and can ask the other for something. 1, 2, 3, go. They dive in and Zhang Hao swims like a pro with his well-trained body. However, the problem is that Yuha just jumped in and sank like a rock. She can't swim. Zhang Hao has to go back to save her, asking, are you okay? Are you okay? She's coughing, trying to play it cool, saying it's nothing serious. Zhang Hao thinks, girl, you have an Olympic pool at home and you can't swim? He asks, if you couldn't swim, why do you challenge me to a race? That's dangerous. She says she saw many people swimming and thought it wouldn't be hard. Zhang Hao playfully flicks her forehead as she apologizes. Suddenly, the girl behind Yuha says, Zhang Hao, your clothes. When Zhang Hao looks, he realizes the suit becomes completely see-through when wet. That's why there was that extra piece, which he discarded. It was to cover up. Now, everything is on display. He quickly changes into a new outfit, with the girls blushing and apologizing. They explain that the suit was designed to become see-through when wet as a sexy feature. Zhang Hao mutters, damn this inverted world. Yuha then mentions there are many more fun places in her house for them to explore. Zhang Hao tells her to relax. Hold on, let's take it slow, girl. Why are you in such a rush? I'm afraid you'll leave before you're happy. I want to make you happy. I don't want you to leave without a smile on your face. Oh my God. Zhang Hao thinks I'm just here for us to have fun, you know? You must be getting the wrong idea. He scolds her a bit. She tightens her swimsuit and says, what do you mean by that? We didn't even have lunch together at school these past days. I just want to know if I did something to make you feel distant from me. You don't seem happy anymore. He reassures her, no, relax. It's not that. He calls her by her full name and says, you didn't do anything wrong. But in his mind, he's thinking it's because Y probably has spies at school, and if he gets involved with Yuha, Y might intervene, which could get really messy. Zhang Hao knows Y is domineering. If she gets involved, it could get serious. She's a soldier and the heiress of a tech empire, practically Elon Musk's daughter. He gives a weak excuse, saying, it's not you. I just have some problems I can't talk about. She asks, what's going on? I can't help you if you don't tell me. Let's solve this together. Zhang Hao, looking sad, replies, I can't. These are my problems. I don't want to drag you into this. She starts to cry. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't know what to say, but I won't leave you behind. Don't shut me out, please. If we stick together, we can handle it. Jong Hao interrupts her, saying, it's no use. I can't keep stringing you along. Yua, thank you for caring about me, and I'm sorry I can't see you much. Believe me, once I sort this out, we can hang out like we used to. She begins to cry, saying, I don't want to be apart. I want to be with you forever. They both fall silent. He apologizes, and she says she'll head back to her room first. Jong Hao is left speechless. As Jong Hao sits there, sighing and thinking about the mess he's in, her butler approaches and says, Jong Hao, did my lady upset you? I'm sorry. I overheard your conversation. She can be very spoiled sometimes. Jong Hao replies, no, it's not her fault. It's just that for personal reasons, I really need to distance myself from her. But I know she's a bit of a complicated personality, and it'll be hard for us to stay apart since we're so close. I messed up by ignoring her feelings. He realizes he made a mistake by kissing her and now feels like he can't see her. The butler continues, sir, she values you a lot. Every time she comes home, she keeps mentioning how do you spend time together at school, and she only talks about you. If you suddenly start distancing yourself, I believe, no matter how oblivious she might seem, she'll feel your absence and be very sad. From my experience, that's the last thing she wants because she likes you very much. The butler then asks if she had been threatened at school. Jong Hao remembers she had mentioned her friends only asked for money. He replies, she didn't tell me the details, but it has nothing to do with that. The butler explains that because she was rich and didn't know how to make friends, people always took money from her, so she was bullied and beaten every day. One time, she came home badly beaten, and her mother got furious, demanding to know what happened and how she dared to get beaten being from such a family. Her mother then went to the school and humiliated the family of the boy who hit her, making them cry, kneel, and lick the floor and her boots. But because of this, no one wanted to be her friend anymore. Everyone was afraid, and she became even more isolated. And now that you, Jong Hao, have found her, she's afraid of losing you again and being left alone. The butler apologizes, saying he may have said too much and is sorry for getting involved in their relationship. The protagonist responds, it's not her fault. I'm just being foolish. He thinks to himself, damn, I'm going to have to talk to her again and explain things since she's feeling insecure about so much. If I leave it like this, it'll be a mess. He then says, I'm sorry, and I'll go and talk to her again. The butler tells him she's likely in the maid's quarters and suggests he go there. A maid leads him there, and when they arrive, she's standing by the window, all alone, looking sad and teary. Before he can say anything, she starts speaking. When I was a child, I always liked looking at the sky. My parents were always traveling, so I watched the planes, hoping to see them arrive. Jong Hao looks at her and starts talking about what the butler had mentioned about how she was always isolated and how she's sad now. He reassures her that they are still friends and he won't leave her alone. She acknowledges that she knows he can't stay with her because of the dangers he's facing. He confirms, yeah, something like that, but she insists that she wants to help him and isn't afraid of facing those dangers. She's run away a lot in her life and now she wants to get involved, even if it brings problems for her. She recalls a flashback where she used to just give money away without protecting her friends and ended up isolated. Her mother seems to be a big boss type who doesn't like having a failure for a daughter. She tells Jong Hao, you're my best friend. I don't care if I get arrested or face risks, I will defend you. Jong Hao is surprised by her determination. He puts his hand on her arm and says that loyalty won't help in this situation. It's going to be hard for her to assist him. He explains that at school they need to avoid each other as much as possible, and that he'll even keep his distance from other friends to not put anyone at risk. But as a compromise, he promises to visit her house frequently so she won't feel alone. She then asks, even if I call you every day, you won't get tired of me. He responds, no, come on, it's normal for friends to hang out every day. How can I get tired of that? You still have to show me the game room and so many other things. A house this big must have a lot to explore. As he talks, she starts to cheer up, throws herself into his arms, thanks him, and talks about how everything changed for the better since he came into her life. Clinging to his arm, she says he's the person she cares about most. But then the scene changes to a war-torn setting, with broken buildings and fire. Someone is lying on the ground, bleeding from the head. Bloody, stabbed, exploded, our boss, Wei Nan. It looks like she was quite a tough soldier. It's a gruesome scene, all bloodied. But then it turns out it was just a dream and she wakes up in bed, feeling relieved. Her secretary enters and asks, are you awake? She asks what time it is. The secretary says, it's 11 o'clock. You've been sleeping a lot lately. Are you not sleeping well? Do you want to call a doctor for a checkup? Wei Nan declines and asks how the blood moon research is going. The secretary says there's been no progress. Wei Nan says, all right then, I'll be to work. She gets dressed, ready to start her day. However, in the bathroom, she begins to question what this kid Jong Hao is doing. She looks in the mirror, pondering about their relationship. She wants to be friends with him for the rest of her life and never separate. Jong Hao, meanwhile, is thinking, are we going to be friends for the rest of our lives or something more? Jong Hao, come on, she just said friends. You're the one getting all worked up. And then she completely breaks down my defenses against her because she gave a little smile, looked down, called him, and leaned in for a kiss. John Hao holds back and says, "Hold on, have you forgotten everything? Let's take it slow." She says she thought she could be honest, that she just felt like giving a little kiss, nothing more. John Hao responds, "It's not good to be seen doing this here at your house." At that moment, John Hao's phone rings and it's Wai Nan on the line. His eyes widen when he hears her voice. She says, "What's up, where are you?" He replies, "At a friend's house. What do you want?" She continues, "I'm inviting you to my house. Come over now." He replies, "No, I'm not in the mood. I'm not free and I don't want to." She retorts, "Well, then I'll have to visit your parents' house first because I have a gift for them." Damn, she even threatened his parents. What a move. John Hao shouts, "You're going too far." "Are you going crazy?" She insists, "Then come to my house. I'll be waiting at the door." At that moment, the butler opens the door and says, "There are a lot of people outside calling for you, saying they're here to take you home." When John Ho goes outside, all of Wai Nan's bodyguards are there along with her. The two girls face off and it's intense. John Ho is going crazy and Yuha tells him, "Don't worry, I'll protect you." But John Ho knows that while Yuha can fight, she's no match for Wei, who's trained in the military. If they fight, poor girl could end up in pieces and it wouldn't end well. So he's trying to calm things down, telling them to stop fighting. He turns to Wai Nan and says, "If you have something to say, just say it." Then he turns to Yuha, waves goodbye, and says, "I just came to ask something for my friend. I have to go. Goodbye, Yuha. Don't worry, I have to leave." She insists, "No, this woman doesn't seem friendly at all. I'm not letting you go with her." John Hao looks at the butler as if to ask him to make her be quiet. The butler, even more furious, says, "How dare this wretched woman block the mansion's entrance and try to take away my lady's friend?" Wai Nan is just watching, losing her patience. She says, "He's my man. John Hao, get in the car with me now." John Hao is taken aback, thinking, "Since when did I become your man?" At that moment, Yuha interrupts and says, "He's not your man or your subordinate. You can't just boss him around." But Wai Nan is unfazed and says, "I'm giving you one last chance. Get in the car." Yuha lunges to punch her, saying, "You don't mess with John Hao." John Hao tries to intervene. "Don't do that." Wai Nan barely moves, easily blocking the punch. Yuha, realizing she's in trouble, gets a shock. Wai Nan then lifts her leg to strike, aiming for a headshot. Luckily, Yuha dodges it. John Hao, feeling helpless, thinks this is bad. Yuha tries to apologize, saying please just let him stay. But Wai Nan, still composed, orders her men to take the girl away. Yuha fights back, but John Hao tells her to stop resisting. Wai Nan, smirking, tells John Hao to get in the car, promising that everything will be fine if he comes with her. John Hao, with no other choice, complies and they drive off. As they leave, he looks back, feeling guilty and worried for Yuha. John Hao exclaims, "Wow, you're really impressive at fighting, doing it right in front of my friend's house." She retorts, "Didn't you say she made a move on you?" John Hao quickly interrupts, saying, "You're the one who came here, locked her house, and started a fight. Do you really want to get beaten that badly?" He continues, "Why is your temper so bad? With a heart like that, I don't even know how you managed to become a president. Did you use some underhanded methods to get there?" He goes on saying if the fight had been stopped, she could have been in the headlines tomorrow, "President of Feng Hong beats up schoolgirl." Wai Nan cuts him off, saying, "If it weren't for you hanging out with other girls, I wouldn't be this pissed off. It's your fault because I'd always lose my mind when it comes to you." John Hao tells her to stop acting crazy, saying he's not the kind of guy who likes being protected and followed around like the other guys she's used to. She responds, "You're crazy. I've never had a man before." John Hao, taken aback, asks, "You've never been with anyone?" She makes a face like, "Yeah, so what?" He's shocked, thinking, what the hell, she's actually single, never been with anyone? How is that possible? He finds it hard to believe, imagining she had hundreds of men chasing her and that she'd been with several. He's left bewildered, thinking the more he gets involved with her, the less he understands. When they get home, he tries to keep his distance, but she asks Zhang Hao what's up with that girl and her family. He quickly responds, "We're just friends. And why do you keep threatening my friends and everyone close to me?" She asks, "Why are you threatening me?" as she leans in closer. He retorts, "You even said you'd go to my parents' house. What did you mean by that?" She replies, "I was going to propose." Is proposing a threat now? John Hao is stunned. Marriage? That's crazy, isn't it? She responds, "Don't you think I deserve you as my man? If I wanted to threaten you, I would have already threatened your relatives and forced you into my bed." John Hao is even more taken aback, realizing she's serious and not concerned about his family. He tells her, "This is impossible between us. There are plenty of good guys out there. Why are you only interested in me? And besides, I don't like strong women like you. You need to understand that." She replies, "Life is short, and I'm going to take everything I want in this one." John Hao stands up, declaring, "You're crazy. This doesn't make any sense." She pulls him close, giving him a tight hug, and whispers in his ear, "I've been studying the red moon for a long time. Aren't you interested?" She playfully nibbles at his ear. Feeling awkward, John Hao says, "I don't care about your studies. You could study until the moon turns green, and I still wouldn't care." He tries to leave, but accidentally knocks over a porcelain piece. She looks at him and says, I had a certain admiration for that porcelain you just broke. John Hao, panicking, asks, how much? She coldly replies, 2. He stammers, 2 million. She corrects him, 200 million. Now John Hao realizes he's in deep trouble, owing Y-Man 200 million. In the next frame, she goes with her foot towards him, saying, pay up. He says, no, that's impossible. There's no way the thing is worth 200 million. She then tells him that if he can't pay, he'll have to become her husband. But being a responsible person, she'll only make him pay 100 million. If he doesn't pay at least 10 million in the first month, he'll have to negotiate with his body. John Hao thinks, my God, 100 million, 10 million a month, that's impossible. The thought runs through his head, damn, I'm screwed, but this condition from Y-Man isn't so bad. Maybe I can use my body for this. At that moment, the girl from the Red Moon appears and gives him a flick on the forehead, asking, are you sure? John Hao snaps out of it, confused, wondering what just happened. He mumbles, well, 100 million is 100 million, stating the obvious. She responds, as expected from the man I like, you're brave. He replies, a real man was born under the heavens and the earth. How can I be depressed? Suddenly, he finds himself thinking he can't even dream of an easy life. He concludes that he must find another way, he can't do this. Night falls and John Hao returns home to find his little sister waiting outside. He asks, hey sis, why are you out here? She smiles and says, I was just waiting for you. He tells her, you didn't need to wait outside. I would come eventually. She notices something in his hand and asks, what's that you're holding? He replies, just an old antique a friend gave me, nothing special. She offers to buy him an antique if he's interested in studying them, but he declines, saying there's no need to spend her money. Despite his reluctance, John Hao decides to ask, hey sis, how much money do you have saved up? She responds, I don't know, around 3 or 4 million. Why? Do you need money? Are you asking for access to your sister's bank account? I'll give it to you. I'll give you everything. Here, let me go get it. He quickly grabs her wrist, saying, no, relax. I'm just concerned because you're spending so much money. She gushes, oh my God, my brother cares so much about me, even worried about my finances. He then heads to his room, saying, I'm going to my room, see you later. John Hao decides to do a live stream, but let's be real, needing 100 million, he's going to have to go all out. So he messages his manager asking, do you have a plan? I need to make money. What should I do to blow up the views? The scene shifts to the chat going wild, people saying, oh my God, the God of Men has arrived, so hot. The protagonist is thinking, I haven't fully planned out what I'm going to do, but I have a few ideas. People in the chat suggest, if you take off your mask, I'll give you 10 super yachts. He's tempted, thinking, 10 super yachts? Maybe it's worth it. Just take off the mask for a second. But then a message from his manager pops up advising, don't do it. Wait a bit longer. When you're a top streamer in the future, you'll make way more than that. She plans to reveal later that he's the boy seen only once in 70,000 years and capitalize on that. John Hao tells the stream that he won't be taking off his mask just yet, but they can stay tuned as he might consider it. He mentions that he's tired of the current game and isn't in the mood for exercise, asking, what do you guys want to see? One person says they're tired of watching the same game he keeps playing and wants to see if he knows how to play a shooter game. Another person suggests he spread his legs and film it, and yet another suggests he do a singing stream because it's easy. The protagonist thinks to himself that there's no way he's wearing a short outfit and shaking his butt, not even for 100 million. So he decides to sing a little song instead, thinking that as long as he doesn't sound like a complete lunatic, it'll be fine. He's not a professional or anything, but he sang decently in his past life. He starts the stream singing a little song, and the chat lights up with comments about how wonderful his voice is. He starts receiving super yachts as gifts, and he begins to wonder how much they're worth. At one point, someone requests a specific song, but he refuses, saying he won't sing that one but can sing others. As he continues singing, the donations keep rolling in, and the chat is filled with adoring fans gushing over the delicious guy seen only once in 70,000 years. The protagonist is eyeing the gifts and thinking, at this rate, could it work out? He then announces that whoever donates 3 yachts will get their wish granted. After wrapping up the stream and thanking everyone, he ponders that while he would like to stream more to earn money, he can't stay up too late, as his sister might scold him and his father might stop him from streaming altogether. He realizes that his singing streams bring in more money than gaming ones, making 50,000 in this session. He acknowledges that even if he streams all month and makes 50,000, it won't be enough. He needs to earn much more. Suddenly, his phone rings and Wainan is calling. He immediately thinks she's calling to ask for the money back, but she surprises him by saying she just wants to see him and asks him to send her a picture, calling him a silly fox. Annoyed and confused, he agrees but asks for 5 million to deduct from his debt in exchange for a photo. She negotiates down to 1 million, and he agrees, thinking a million less is a million less. He sends her a picture of him thinking, why is she being such a pain? The protagonist then considers asking Yuha for money, but realizes that even with the money from his streams, he still needs to make a lot more. He decides that he can't rely solely on his sister's funds. The scene shifts to the next day with the protagonist writing down his plans to make money. find someone to lend him money, avoid selling his body, sing live, and send photos to Nan. He notes that he's currently in debt for 100 million, thinking he's doomed. Reflecting on his recent singing streams, which have been quite successful, he considers calling his manager for more tips. He calls her and says, "Song, I need to make more money. What should I do?" She replies, "I didn't expect the god of men to take the initiative to call me. You want my suggestions for your streams? Obviously, I won't suggest you act cute or start stripping. I've noticed your singing streams have done well. If you're interested, we could explore new ideas. I recommend trying out a game that recently launched." He asks her to send him the game, and she suggests PUBG. He wonders if he can secure a sponsorship or some kind of promotion for the game on his streams. Midstream, his sister enters the room, asking if he's hungry or wants to go to bed. The chat explodes with comments about a possible forbidden love between them. She leans close to him, and Zhang Hao quickly ends the stream to avoid more speculation. He checks the stream's results and finds it did well, but it's still not enough. Making money is harder than he thought. His sister notices the stream's popularity and teases him about it. She suggests he should rest and even offers to give him a massage. Zhang Hao, noticing her suggestive outfit, tries to resist but eventually agrees, thinking it's just a massage. As she massages him, he realizes she's being sincere, but he can't help but notice her attire. She asks if it bothers him, and he denies it, though internally, he worries he might lose control. She insists there's a reason for her dressing like this, hinting at her deeper feelings. Zhang Hao, curious, asks what the reason is. She internally debates whether she can make him fall for her, believing it's the only way their relationship can work. Then she says that when the time comes, she'll explain everything to him. He just nods, okay, fine, whatever you're talking about, I'll just go along with it. She reveals that she has a new plan in motion, and once it works out, their relationship will deepen significantly. The scene shifts to the next day with the protagonist waking up at 6 in the morning. He's thinking about how her massage was so good that he slept peacefully. But as soon as he checks his phone, there's a message from Nan saying, "Just give up, you won't be able to pay. Just bow to me every time and be my obedient man." That wakes him up with a shock, ruining his relaxed morning. At school, which he had almost forgotten about, our protagonist is slumped over his desk, looking exhausted. Yua comes over and greets him with a good morning, to which he responds in kind. He asks her why her backpack is so huge, and she pulls out a bunch of treasures she stole from her house, saying she doesn't know their worth, but her grandmother said they're valuable. She even tries to give him a diamond ring. Zhang Hao tells her that if she stole these from her family, it's dangerous and he doesn't want anything to do with it. He insists she returns everything to the butler. She feels a bit hurt and says she just wanted to help him. Zhang Hao reassures her, thanking her but emphasizing that he doesn't want her to get into trouble. He then asks her if she can find someone who specializes in antique appraisal. She agrees and says she'll look for someone. The scene cuts to an antique shop where two women are discussing a vase. Our protagonist arrives, and one of the women immediately recognizes him as the immortal god who descended to Earth 70,000 years ago. Zhang Hao tells her he's a friend of Yuha and wants her to appraise an antique he has. She agrees but suggests they move to a private room, suspecting that anything recommended by Yuha must be valuable. In the private room, they recognize the plate as the royal plate of Jianyang from the high heavens, previously sold for 200 million. It turns out Nan wasn't lying, and Zhang Hao realizes its true worth. The women are curious about how they acquired it. He downplays the situation, saying a wealthy friend gave it to him because it was broken. He asks if it can be repaired. They say it can, but it won't be worth as much as before. The assistant offers her card, suggesting they go out for a meal to discuss everything further, clearly interested in him. Zhang Hao decides to accept, knowing he'll need help selling the plate later. The scene shifts to him leaving with the antique shop assistant, but a guard seems to be watching them. The guard assumes they are a couple, which the assistant doesn't deny, and Zhang Hao is left thinking about her intentions. Inside the hall, other women are looking at them, thinking how lucky she is to have such a handsome guy by her side. She's beaming with pride, while Zhang Hao has no choice but to play along, holding her hand. However, it seems someone is following them. The assistant apologizes, explaining that pretending to be a couple got them a discount. Zhang Hao reassures her it's not a big deal and asks how much the repaired plate might sell for. She estimates a few $1,000,000. Just then, the person following them kicks the door open, threatening the antique shop assistant and demanding to share the handsome guy. The antique shop assistant stands up and asks what she wants. The intruder ignores her and offers Zhang Hao 3 times whatever she's paying him. At that moment, the assistant slaps the intruder, causing quite a stir. However, the gang leader girl didn't take kindly to the slap she received and ordered her people to beat up the antique dealer. One of them landed a punch right in her stomach, knocking her to her knees. The gang leader sneered, "You have the guts to hit me? Now you're going to die." Zhang Hao thinks to himself, "Wait, you can't kill her. I still need to sell my antiques." Just as the leader is about to punch the fallen woman, Zhang Hao grabs her arm. She looks at him in surprise, wondering how this guy is so strong. She dismisses him. "Hey, little man, step aside. This is a woman's business." Zhang Hao sighs and then, in one swift motion, delivers a punch to the stomach of one of the gang members, causing everyone to gasp in shock. He follows up with a blow to the nose of another and kicks a third one, taking them down. But suddenly, everything goes dark for him. When Jean Hao opens his eyes, he's tied up and gagged, surrounded by rough-looking women.